ability to blood all these youngsters in recent years and getting quite a few games under their belt now and becoming mature, good, strong bodies, whereas North Hobart got a good mix of some older heads and some great young talent there as well. So it'll be really exciting to see how North Launceston perform, and probably more eager to see how North Hobart perform against the best in the comp at the moment.
Down at ground level, we've got Tony Webb and Chris Sayer, our boundary riders this afternoon. Good afternoon, boys.
Good afternoon, everybody who's listening, and to the guys upstairs. North Launceston have won the toss, kicking to the city end of the ground. The ground itself is in very good condition. A little bit soft in patches, but quite firm most of the way around. Hasn't really been cut up by the earlier game, so there's no real excuses for that for this game. I'm looking forward to a really good game here. I think it's going to be fairly close, but I suspect North will get away and probably win by about 4 or 5 goals in the end. Here's Chris Say to talk about the weather and make his prediction.
Yeah, it is a lovely day down here, 14 degrees, so there's no complaining about it being cold down here. No wind at all, really. The windsock is hanging limp up there, a bit like St Kilda for the rest of the year. And I think we're in for a good game, but sort of perfect weather for football. No sun in the eyes, it's overcast, nice temperature, no wind. We're in for a good game. Yeah, I think North Hobart, they might crack it. We'll see how they go.
Okay, thanks, boys, down there on the boundary. So, as they said, it's pretty good conditions for footy here. Max, you talked about the youth of North Hobart. Definitely one of the improved teams, as Rob said, in the league. It'd be interesting to see how some of the younger players handle the pressure of North Launceston, because that was huge last time out against the Blues.
It was, and they're going to have to be at the top of their game today, and they're going to have to continue at the top of their game for 4 quarters to stay in it, I think. But because we've seen how North Launceston can just grind away, and all of a sudden 2 or 3 quick goals, and the margin opens up to 3 or 4, and then when they get their tail up, let's watch out the opposition. But it'll be really keen to just see how they cope with the pressure, North Hobart, and also what pressure they can apply.
And their big improvement this year is partly due to Jack McCulloch, who's in tackle, gets a short kick away. McGuinness is in there for North Hobart. Norton tries to wrestle it free. It ends up out of bounds, centre wing. So North Hobart last week, 31-point win over Glenorchy. The Pies came back in the last quarter, but North Hobart had that under their control during the day. As I said, they're only a game in percentage now outside the top 4. Lee wins the tap. Sharkdo there by McGuinness. Handball now to Norton. Can't quite take it with him. Taken away by Harry Bales. Kicks along the wing. Finds man Shannon. He plays on straight away. Might have been touched. Now Connor Young has it. Round the corner. Kick to half forward. Who can take the mark? Ives had the front position off hands. Taken away there by Matthew Campbell. Not a great possession though as Norton coughs it up. Here's a dangerous Leary. Can't release it. Might have been held without it there. Pierce, play on, says the umpire. Now Austin Keeling has it. And he's rustled to the ground. 30 metres out from goal. North and Launceston 1 goal straight, 6 lead. North Hobart yet to score.
Bombers' pressure's been terrific early. Ives will take the ruck inside the 50. He gets the first hands on. That's Leary. Oh, had just a fraction longer there, I think, than he thought, Leary. Dangerous, as you said, Dave Moore. And he's unfortunately offline, and that's a behind there to the Bombers. But ominous signs early here for North Hobart. They certainly, as the on-road team, they won't want to be conceding on the big ground here to the informed Northern Bombers. That's probably not his best kick. It's chopped off across half forward. Blade Sulzberger or Max Roney indeed. Drives it in. Chopped off. Demons are going to come away with it. Nice mark taken there by Jackson, the ruckman, dropping back. It's going to be important for them today. Alex Lee, best ruckman in the competition in my view, boys. Jackson coming out here towards us, towards the wing position. Nice strong work there, Lee Flang. Bombers again. Simpson drives it inside 50. Ives off hands. Going to be an important one from Pearce. And out of territory, Nathan Pearce. He's been terrific. Former Hillwood Shark. Gets a lot of work in the forward line, but he's also done some great stuff around the ball, hasn't he, Dave Moore?
Absolutely. Yes, he's a very versatile player, Pearce. He can go forward and kick goals. He's a very useful on-baller, as we said. Ives front position gets down to Pearce, taken away by Cox-Goodyear, tackled by a couple of players. Ball says the crowd. Cox-Goodyear out of man Shannon, gets through traffic, handball to Pearce. Kicks nicely smothered by McGuinness. On the follow-up, Avent. Back to Cox-Goodyear. No one getting effective possession here. Trying to pick it up there was Will Groom. Ends up out of bounds. Will Groom was the captain of the Hutchins team in the Sardis Grand Final last week. This was won in a thriller by St Pat's in extra time. He's on the Tassie Devils list, of course, young Will Groom. Boundary throwing falls way short. Jackson with the tap. Follows it up to Jackson, doing well early. Over the top to McGuinness. Up against the boundary line. Little kick. Will be out of bounds on the full. And it'll be a free kick here to Chug or Avent. It's Declan Chug with a free kick. 2 kicks out from goal.
Very creative player, Declan Chug, looking at his options. Drives it inside. Another inside 50. He's kicked it straight to Jackson, though. Dropping back where you'd want a defensive ruckman to be. He's been busy early, Jackson, as he's had to be against this dangerous Bombers forward line. That kick's going to be okay, though. That's a nice mark taken there by Groom. Advancing slowly here, McGuinness. Little measured kick, that's okay. It's going to be okay, and that's taken there by Harrison McLeod. 5 kicks and they're still inside 50. Comes back across this way. He's picked out his teammate back to Jackson where it first started. Jackson, another little dinky kick. Lots of possessions, but they're still inside 50. Jack Sandrick, one of the most important players in the Demons defence. Finally, we're outside 50, and that's a really, really nice mark under pressure taken there by David Monks. He plays on quickly, looks for an option further afield, and that's a really nice mark taken there by Jack McCulloch. And as Dave Moore said, he is going to be critical to them today. Norton, by hand, plays on quickly. No, still not inside 50. That's a nice mark taken there by Sam Wright. They're going to have a look at it, the Demons forwards. Second bite of the cherry. Oh. He asked a question. Ball in dispute. Deep inside Demon territory, inside their forward pocket. Quick shot on goal. It's gone, no, out of bounds on the full. Quick action there from Angus Norton, I think that was, but out on the full, Dave Moore.
Little kick comes out now towards Simpson, who takes the mark. Yeah, good build up there from North Hobart, Max. They were patient, but they found a way through.
Yep, the key word was patience. Then they just chipped it around in that back 50 until they had confidence in knowing that they had a couple of outlets and moved the ball really well in the transition. Then it was just a good bit of play.
Speaking of transition, you go North Launceston. Nicholas now to Manchandon on the wing. Chip kick to Avent inside 50. Good spoil from behind there by, that was Colin Stevenson, the boy from Devonport. Taken now by Cox-Goodyear for goal number 2. Makes no mistake from the boundary line. Brad Cox-Goodyear. 2 in the first quarter. 2 in the first 7 minutes of this contest. And just that was his trademark, wasn't it, Max? He just had that one step, shot on goal from a tough angle and knocked it through. But it was that rebound from half-back that set it up.
Yeah, footy's a cool sport, isn't it? Like North Hobart did everything right then. They controlled the ball in their back half for probably 2 or 3 minutes, it seemed like. Then got a couple of good longer kicks clearing out of that 50 up this grandstand side wing in front of us. Got it deep into the square, claimed the mark. We could all see that wasn't a mark when they, the big blonde guy up there, I think it was Leithhever, tried to claim it, but couldn't fool the man in green and rebounded out the other side. And number 1, BCG, gets it down to 1.
Back in the middle, the ruckman do battle, Jackson and Lee. Lee again first hands on. Bombers are going to come away with it again. Another inside 50 potentially, but chopped off. Oh, I thought that had different hands on it. That's okay though. Stevenson comes away. That's a really nice kick and a nice mark taken there by Tyler McGuinness. Another important player for the Demons. Plays on. Probably not his best option. Chopped off across half-back by that man Fletcher Bennett. He's going to switch it, move it along quickly, and that's a nice mark taken there by Nicholas. He goes back to Leaf Lang. He's going to move it on. It's a nice mark taken there as well. Harvey Griffiths. Griffiths moves it onto the wing. Not going to find the target, but it's going to be okay though to Ahern. Spins, twists, finds a teammate. All moved just outside 50 in the direction of Cox-Goodyear. Boundary line's going to win that one though. So I said at the start of the game, guys, a tale of two cities, a game of two styles. North Hobart, deliberate, chipping it round. Bombers wanting to move it quickly at every opportunity. So we'll see which game style prevails today. But certainly a good start to the Northern Bombers. Boundary throw in, just outside the Bombers 50. They've got the numbers around the ball. Look like Leary. Another inside 50 to them. That actually is Leary. Gained possession, a shot on goal. I think it's going to be okay. Brandon Leary, as only Brandon Leary can do. A bit of magic off the stoppage. Twist turns, Maxie Walker, and the Bombers' third goal on the board.
What amazes me with him is that he done that with complete ease from, he's probably kicked it from about 52 metres. You know, no momentum with the kick at all. It was just, you know, a little side shimmy onto the boot and cleared it, you know, halfway through the posts. He's a remarkable talent, and you just, I've said it before, just love to see him get the opportunity to go one step further just to see if he can, you know, make his mark somewhere.
Brought to you by Allgas. For all your LPG needs statewide, talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. Thank you for sponsoring today's broadcast. Back in the middle, Lee with the tap. Finds Sulzberg, who swung in the tackle there by McLeod. Umpire says, ball it up. Gee, we're going to be in for a treat today, listeners and viewers, with Leary and Cox-Goodyear inside attacking 50, because they can really turn it on, provide some highlights. Here's Dom White now. And ball to McLeod, little tap on. Ends up now with Josh Cleaver. Quick kick inside 50, not bad. Leafever taken by McCulloch. Hands off Josh Hilda. Snaps for goal. It's going to fall short, but it'll be the first score for North Hobart. They're one behind, trailing Northern Bombers. 3-1-19. Quick release from Bales out from fullback. Is Declan Shug. Oh, the kick smothered. Chance now here for North Hobart. Leafever snaps. Gee, he had more time there. He was off balance. It just went off the wrong side of the boot. One behind, opportunity lost.
Can't be happy with that one. That was a gimme, that.
They did all the hard work in not letting it go outside their defensive 50. But in the end, they couldn't convert the goal. Knocked out of play now. We're at left half forward for North Hobart. Inside 50s for Dave Gruber. 8 to North Launceston, just a 2 to North Hobart so far. And the sunshine here at UTAS Stadium. Front position Jackson. Beautiful tap work there to McGuinness. McGuinness kicks towards goal. Has it got enough on it? No, it's marked in defence there by Mitchell. Mitchell thinks about coming back from whence it came, but he goes wider. Not a great kick, is it? Yes, it's done all right. It's got to Griffiths, who slides in and takes the mark. He plays on. Nice link-up kick here with Shug. Has support there from Mitch Nicholas. To half forward now to Young. Young back over the top to the running Nicholas. He gets to 60 out. He gets to 50. Kicks to the goal square towards Ives, who takes the mark. Great footy, North Launceston. That running play on that railway wing. They've done it twice now. Transference of play. Ends up with Ives. Tough shot though. He's 20 out on the boundary line. Thrilling stuff from the Bombers, Max.
You don't see that very often when one team can go from, you know, one end of the ground. It takes a lot of skill to keep the ball off, and great gut running by one of the North guys there. Just
Mitch Nicholas.
Mitch Nicholas, yes.
Theo Ives across the face. One behind. The Bombers 3-2-20 lead North Hobart. 2 behinds, 2 points. 13 minutes into the first quarter. Here's Rob Soward for City Park Radio Sport.
It just shows the confidence that they've got in each other. You know, Nicholas to be able to just run and run and run, and knowing that he's going to get it. He's just kept running, knowing I'm going to end up with this ball every time that I get near it.
Certainly ominous signs here for North Hobart, boys, that's for sure. Groom. Oh, they're just mucking around with it a bit too much for my liking. But that's going to be okay. That's okay. That's taken there by Austin Keeling. Still inside their defensive 50. Norton goes out the other side. That's going to be okay as well. Taken there by Sam Wright. Kicks to a contest. Chopped off, and a beautiful mark taken there by Sulzberger. He's chipped back inboard. Another inside 50. All Bombers at the moment. That's going to be okay for the Bombers. It's chopped off and taken there in defence by Nick Jackson, as we've called him a few times. Dropping back in defence. Little short kick, not sure if that's the distance in the journey. Taken there by Stevenson. He's chipped that over. Pearce has done his absolute very best to get his hands on that, Dave Moore. Norton's not happy, and it's gone out of bounds.
I was thinking, I reckon Nick Jackson's probably the leading possession winner on the ground at the moment. He's had about 4 or 5 marks. He's been in the ruck against Lee. He's been dropping back.
They probably used half a dozen of him at the moment. That's okay. He's in the ruck again. Lee's going to pick that up off the ground. Swing and a miss. Jackson again. Held up. There'll be another ball up just outside 50. All Bombers at the moment, so McGuinness is going to have to do a bit more around the ball for the Demons. He's there at this stoppage as the ruckman do battle. Jackson gets Lee out of the way. Sits. Almost there for Pearce. Handball doesn't hit the target. Could be holding the ball. We've all said holding the ball. Umpire said no. Norton. That's going to be a high tackle against Pearce there, I reckon you'll find. And it is. And that man Jackson again. No, I thought he was going to get the free kick. It's going to be Norton.
Norton short kick into the centre of the ground. Oh, mark drop there. Brad Young should have taken that one. Follows up. Gets it to Norton. Now sideways to Ferguson. Ferguson up the wing looking for Jack McCullough. Good spoil from Leaf Lane. That's a good battle today. And the ball spills out of bounds. Now 3 goals on the board to the Bombers through the first half of this first quarter. 2 to Cox-Goodyear. 1 to Brandon Leary. A couple of opportunities probably missed there for North Hobart. They could be a bit closer at the moment. Still just the 3 inside 50 so far for North Hobart. Holding from the ruck contest. It's going the way here of Nick Jackson. And what a battle that is at the moment with Lee. Jackson might be on top of that one, I'd say. As he kicks now to attacking 50. Jack McCullough up against 3 North Launceston defenders. They win out, the Bombers. Then Shannon keeps it in play. Gets confronted. Runs his full measure. Is ambitious. How that wasn't holding the ball, I do not know. He's got it back again, though. Gets it to Mansell. Fumble there from Simpson. He took his eye off the ball. But, I don't want to be critical of umpires, boys, but I'm sure that if you're bouncing the ball and you get caught and dispossessed...
He bounced it before he got caught.
Okay.
The ball was nearly back to him, Dave. That was a very good decision by him.
All right.
I'm with you. It was a Kevin Bartlett special.
Stand corrected. Lee with the tap out to Angus Norton. He can't get rid of it successfully. Another ball up. 2 other games today. And we've got the Blues playing Glenorchy at KG5. Anthony Osborne will give us some info on that game at half-time. And also got Clarence at home to the Tigers.
There was a bit of Kelvin Matthews in that one.
There was, for those that are old enough to remember. Here comes Declan Chugg now. Off-balance kick, kicks high. North Hobart have the numbers. Leary almost took it. Oscar Mansell dives in. Gets it out. Stevenson just handballs it straight back into congestion. Blade Sulzberger releasing handball. Back to Stevenson. It's rough and tough in there at the moment. Young tries to break through. Another effort there from Cohen Stevenson. Forces a stoppage. Right on the 50 for North Launceston. They lead by 18 points.
See if my memory's good. Lee's brother, Kelvin? Yeah, absolutely. That's good. The old memory's working. Another inside 50 there for the Bombers. It's going to be held up just inside 50. North Hobart's pressure around the ball's been good as it's had to. Umpires found a blood rule there, and looks like Norton's got a little bit of claret coming out of him.
They're doing well at the stoppages, North Hobart. The goals at North have got free-flowing ones.
7 clearances to 5 the Demons' way.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, good spot, Max. Umpire's clearing him out. Looks like we're set to go. Lee and Jackson. Sounds like a bar in Melbourne, that one. Lee, first hand on. Bombers are going to have another look at it. In the direction of Ives. Got what he should have taken. That's okay, though. What a fantastic goal! Oscar Mansell. Absolute classic, Dave Moore. We were right behind it.
Oh, that was brilliant by young Oscar Mansell.
Absolutely. Didn't have a lot of daylight to work with there, Max.
In the right spot at the right time, wasn't he? Just read, he was at the fall of the ball, picked it up and looked a little bit unorthodox the way he kicked it. I didn't know whether he was going to try and run towards the top of the square and kick it somehow differently, but it was sort of half a banana and half of a drop punt.
Oh,
A good finish.
Those listening to City Park Radio, check that one out on 7 Tasmania News highlights tonight. Jason's already marked it down. His little book there of highlights. So another goal to North Launceston, though. That's 4 goals now the margin. Still plenty to play out in this first quarter. A bit of a delay here. As there was a second ball on the ground. Goals to Cox-Goodyear with a double early on. Now Leary, now Oscar Mansell. Back in the middle of the arena here at UTAS Stadium. And Lee gets a beautiful tap out to Avent. Avent kicks inside 50. Champagne football. As it hits Cox-Goodyear on the chest. That's what you practice at training.
Absolutely. It just looks like a drill, doesn't it, Dave? Beautiful play and beautifully called. And he's got a shot at number 3 in the quarter.
I think they've got the right bloke on him. Sandrick is experienced. He's got the bigger body compared to a lot of his other defenders, but you can't stop them when they're coming out that way.
So from the tap out to Event, the pinpoint pass to Cox-Goodyear to finish it off for goal number 3. Brad Cox-Goodyear kicks it. 3 of the best to Cox-Goodyear. And 5 now to North Launceston, 5-2-32. North Hobart, 2 behinds, 2 points.
He's matched his output, Maxie Walker, the last time they played. He kicked 3 in their last encounter. He's got 3 in the first quarter.
He can go off now then, can't he? He's done his bit.
I know we've said in recent weeks, Maxie, what a luxury to have him playing permanent forward.
Yeah.
I mean, a player of that skill.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we're accustomed to seeing him in the middle and doing all the grunt work, but they've got Pearce there now who's prepared to put his body in, and there's a good mixture in there. You've got Pearce, who's just a grunt in and under type player. You've got Simpson in there, who's got a lot more polish than a lot of the other guys. And Avent just uses his nous, as we see here, just read the ball and got a clearance.
Oh. Looks like Leary lost the handle. Under pressure, under siege at the moment, North Hobart. All Bombers. That man Pearce, another inside 50, and Cox-Goodyear again. This is looking ominous for the Demons, boys. Looking ominous.
In range.
He is in range. He's going to hit this from just outside the 50. So for Brad Cox-Goodyear, that is in range.
He's about to swing into the middle as he gets close to the man on the mark here. He's a bit concerned of the distance. He wants an extra metre or 2, boys.
You've seen that movie before, I reckon, Maxie, and that's a great prediction. He walks in. And he does exactly as Max Walker says. Unfortunately, that distance has tested him. And it's just going to land just inside the boundary line. Deep inside the Bombers 4. They're going to have a shot on goal! Yes! What a hit! I think that was Manshandon, was it?
It was indeed.
Manshandon, Will Manshandon, what a great shot on goal. We saw Mansell from this side, Manshandon from the other side, and what a terrific first quarter. Maxie Walker for the Northern Bombers as they move on to 6-2-38, North Hobart 2 behinds.
Really good start, isn't it? Like any game where you can kick 6 goals to zip in 21 minutes, you're certainly showing that you're well in control of it. And I'm not quite sure what North Hobart need to do here apart from stop the onslaught, but they'll be scratching the head there at the moment and saying we've got the right guy on Cox-Goodyear, who's on these other blokes, get away from goal side from them, don't give them a chance to run at it.
Alex Lee having a spell the last bit of the quarter. Theo Ives into the ruck, as is Jack McCulloch. So the 2 second-string ruckmen are in there. Clearance again for North Launceston. This time it's Pearce. Pearce kicks inside 50, looking for Leary. Geez, he nearly picks that up skillfully. Out of bounds, but we've seen 3 successive centre-square clearances. 2 from Jack Avent, 1 now from Nathan Pearce.
Just uses it like a yo-yo, Leary, doesn't he? Just, if he drops it, it comes back to him. If he puts his arm out, it comes to him. It's amazing.
Ives and McCulloch. Nobody wins a tap there. At the back, McCulloch fights on. Avent's in there. There'll be another ball up. 23 minutes in. We've had 6 goals, so probably got another 4 to 5 minutes to play of this first quarter. Inside 50s. The disparity there is amazing. 13-3, the Bombers' way. Tap out by Ives. McLeod gets it to McGuinness, who's tackled by Mansell. No free kick. Ball up, 60 out from the Bombers' goal.
That's the sort of play that Mansell, I suspect, Cox-Goodyear would be demanding of him for him to hold a spot in this team. Just apply that forward pressure, don't let it out.
Ives wins the wrestle, wins the tap. McLeod, though, sharks it. Backwards, Groom, round the corner kick. Taken here now by Young. Handball's off to McGuinness. Chance here. Leafhebber's there with Kerr. So 1-on-1 inside 50. Kerr dives on the ball. High contact from Leafhebber. Jacob Kerr, the boy from Winnerlea, does it well, wins the free kick.
And the Bombers are away again. That's a nice mark taken there. Chug, I think that is. Ball comes back this way. Bombers on the surge. That man Pearce in the middle. He's going to look further afield. That's a poor kick, though. He'd be disappointed with that. And that's chopped off there by McCulloch. McCulloch, a little kick. Finley poke. Plays on out here towards us. Over Young's head. That's going to be okay. Norton. Back on after the blood rule. By hand. Demons looking for something late in the quarter. And Mark dropped what he should have taken there, that Bombers player in Fletcher Bennett. North Hobart are going to have another look at it maybe, but no, that's a really nice tackle there from Brandon Leary. Not only does he do the creative stuff inside forward 50, but applies the pressure to his man once the ball goes the other way. Umpire clearing them out. Ives front position, first hand on, Pearce. And the umpire's found a free kick, and it is going to be Pearce's free kick, I think.
Just had an international listener contact us, Max, I believe.
Yeah, Groobs and I have a bit of a giggle there about it. The guy will just interrupt the play for a moment because he deserves all the airtime he gets, this fella. Young Matthew McGee, who's in Philadelphia.
Washington, I think he's moved
Washington,
on to Washington.
hasn't he? Got too much for him and Rocky in the one city, so he's had to move on. Long time listener, first time texted. Great call, guys. I just switched on and thought my internet was no good, and the streaming was repeating. Brad Cox-Goodyear goals are on replay.
And here's another replay as Oscar Mansell takes it. And the kick inside 50. Fletcher Bennett involved. And Oscar Mansell presents. He kicked a magnificent goal early in the quarter, the banana kick, right in front of us here in the forward pocket. He's on the other side now. He's 40 out. And he's got a chance to kick the Bombers 7th in his first quarter.
He's been really active, but I just don't like what a real small forward does there. He's taken 140 out. You need to get back or have a look. He's walked with his back to play all the way back to kick this.
For his second, Oscar Mansell. Umpire does not move. They're on target today. And Oscar Mansell's got 2 in the first quarter. Cox-Goodyear 3, Mansell 2. 1 each to Leary and Manchandon. And they're out now to a 7-goal lead, Max Walker.
Yeah, can't say too much about that, Dave. All their goals have been class, every single one of them so far. The 3 from Cox-Goodyear. Leary's was just a standard Leary goal off one step. Mansell's kicked 1 ripper and 1 straight forward, and Will Manchandon's was a nice quick kick under pressure. So all polished finishes. North Hobart need to get to quarter time. It can't come quick enough, and have a bit of a chat about what they can do here.
Back in the middle, and it's Wright who's got the ball. Gets it backwards to Charlie Hasty, late inclusion. Kicks it to half forward, though, taken by Harry Bales. Can they get another one before quarter time? 27 minutes gone. Little handball now. Ends up with Jacob Kerr from Avent. Kerr inside 50. Kicked off the ground by Stevenson. Might work to the advantage here of the Demons. Contested footy. Handball over the top to space. Bales can't take it away. And it's right on attacking 50. And I track what I said before. Matthew is actually in Philadelphia. He just did a day trip to Washington. So welcome to our broadcast, Matthew. I'm not sure what time it is there, Groobs. He's been checking, but we'll get that in a minute. Avent gets his hand free. Cox-Goodyear from 50 for goal number 4. He raises his hand in the air as he knows it sails straight through. And Cox-Goodyear has kicked 4 in this first quarter, and the Bombers have kicked 8. And that one was from 50, Max Walker.
Yeah, that's just cruel when you can do that to the opposition, isn't it? Like he was nearly falling to the ground as he kicked it. He was under pressure. He was 49.75 metres out. The positives of it, he was on his left foot, and a guy like him will never miss him from there.
Gee, what a treat we've got here. 4 in the first quarter. The sky's the limit today. The form he's in. He looks fit. He's had a few injury concerns in the last season or two. It's Cox-Goodyear. But he looks fit at the moment, Rob Soward. And Max, you having a bit of a chuckle over there?
Oh, yeah. I'm having a chuckle with Groobs as well. That guy who's in Washington, D.C. said Biden said he loves City Park Radio and the King.
Oh, there you go. Can't get any better
Not
endorsement than that.
Not a better endorsement when you got the Prez saying that about you.
No more about Macca. Let's concentrate on the footy.
Absolutely.
Is that enough airtime?
Enjoy your holiday, Macca. We're thinking of you.
Get to bed.
Ball on the wing for North Hobart. They're trying to do something. They're trying to do something in this final stanza. Umpire's found a free kick. He's picked that one out. And I think it's heading the Bombers' way, which is not what North Hobart want.
Nicholas, I think.
Nicholas, I think you're right there, Dave. Alex Lee takes the mark on the half-back flank. It's going to head back towards him. He's wrapped up. Umpire said, no, that's going to be mine. Nice tackle there from Jack McCulloch. But not rewarded. The ball up between wing and half-back. Bombers, Northern Bombers 8-2-50, North Hobart 2 behinds. We're going to have another look at it in the closing stages of this first quarter. Ball just outside their 50. The siren's going to win. we head into quarter time, and it's been an absolute clinic by North Launceston. They're up 8-2-50. North Hobart 2 behinds. We'll go to Max Walker in a moment for the goal kickers, but it's just been an absolute class display. I said right at the outset today, a tale of two cities, the form team versus the up-and-coming team, and at the moment, Maxie, it's been all the form team, and they've been putting on a clinic.
They certainly have, and it started with their coach at the top of our team list here, Cox-Goodyear, with 4 first quarter goals, 2 to Oscar Mansell, 1 to Will Manshandon, 1 to Brandon Leary, and a couple of solitary points to North Hobart. So very disappointing start for them. They would have come here with a bit of confidence, knowing that we're looking now, seeing Jack McCullough take control there of the guys, just giving them a bit of a spray before the coach gets there, knowing, I reckon he'd be telling them, we can do better than this. They are a good side, but so are we, and we need to learn from that, tighten up, start being first to the ball. If we're second in line, we've got to punch it. Seen a couple of times there in the back line, which was down here in front of us, where they were probably not in the right position to be able to try and attempt to mark, whereas they did instead of punching. So they've got a bit of work to do to get themselves back into this game.
Day group stats to quarter time. Hit-outs, North Launceston 19-6, so they really took charge of both the clearances and the hit-outs here in that last bit of the quarter. And they lead the clearances now 11-9 at the Bombers. Inside 50s, 15-4. Marks inside 50, 4-0 the Bombers' way. Free kicks, only 8 free kicks in that first quarter, 5 to the Bombers, 3 to North Hobart. Intercept marks, 6 to North Launceston, 4 to North Hobart. I think all 4 of those were probably Nick Jackson, who had a big start to the game. That's quarter time here at UTAS Stadium, and the score reads 8 goals, 250 the Northern Bombers. They're leading North Hobart, 2 behinds, 2 points. Back after these messages.
Play your cards right this winter with new LPG deals from Elgas. Whether you're moving in or you're settled in, make the switch online today. From LPG account credits, fixed pricing and carbon offset options, Elgas has got you covered. Don't lose out this winter. Visit the website, choose your new deal and sign up today. Go online, www.elgas.com.au. Elgas, local, safe and reliable.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
What you hear on community radio is governed by the Community Broadcasting Codes of Practice. The Codes of Practice cover matters relating to program content that are of concern to the community, including local content, news, current affairs, Australian music content, programs for children, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting to the community. They also cover aspects such as community access and participation in the operation of this service. Copies of the codes are available from the Community Broadcasting Association website, www.cbaa.org.au.
What if I told you there's a job out there where you can really make a difference? Where you can inspire others and be inspired? Where your workmates make you laugh constantly? Not only that, but you could work from home, set your own days and hours, and find financial freedom. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's not. If you love working with children, join our Thrive Group family and become one of our family daycare educators. Give us a call on 6341 1555 or visit thrivegroup.org.au. Thrive Group, proud sponsor of City Park Radio.
This sports broadcast is brought to you by Elgas. For all your LPG needs, talk to the locals with knowledge. Elgas, call 13 11 61, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
Well, it's been a huge first quarter here at UTAS Stadium, and the Bombers have really put on the heat to North Hobart. They've gone to an 8-goal lead, 8-2-50, leading North Hobart, 2 behinds, 2 points. Other games, Clarence and the Tigers just getting underway, but just check the score there from Launceston and Glenorchy. Pretty tight early on, 2 goals, 1-13 apiece down there at KG5. And the two teams down there now getting their final instructions. I'd say Adam Bester, Rob, wouldn't be real happy with what he's seen in that first quarter.
No, he wouldn't be, and it's really, really hard to find some winners for them, probably other than Jackson. But even then, I mean, Jackson's marks have been taken, as we've said, deep in defence. So I don't know what Adam's going to do here. He's just going to have to demand more effort, Dave, from around the around the centre square. That's where the Bombers got on top in that quarter.
Yeah, they either were getting centre square clearances for goals, or that rebound footy off half-back down that railway wing. They brought the ball down there 2 or 3 times, which resulted in goals, Max.
Yeah, it did, and it's just the way that they they bring it into that forward line, isn't it? There hasn't been too many occasions where they've had to bring it in under pressure. They've been able to get that centre clearance, which I think Groob said they're leading 17-5 or something like that, which is a bit surprising because Nick Jackson started the first probably 15 minutes of that quarter. Was probably the better of the two ruckmen, but you know, you look at the taps after that was 88-1 or something.
Yeah, they're certainly on top of that. Just repeating the score from the earlier game today, it was North Launceston 6-5-41, defeating North Hobart 6-4-40 in the under-18s. So today we've got the D-League following this game here. Don't forget on City Park Radio tonight, we've got a big clash, probably the last chance the Tornadoes of making the finals. They've really got to win tonight. They play Nunawading Spectres at the Elfin Sports Centre. Our coverage begins at 6:15. And our coverage of the footy next week, we're going to be at North Hobart for the Tasmania versus Queensland game. Looking forward to that. I'll be in commentary with my old mate from down south, Blair Brownless. I'll be down there, and Chris Sayer and Groobs will join me as well. 8-2-50. The Bombers 2 behind, 2 points, North Hobart. And the Bombers have just split up their huddle, so we'll get Tony there in just a moment. As Chris Sayer now also emerges from North Hobart's huddle. So, Tony, if you got us there, what was Brad Cox-Goodyear saying at quarter time? He must have been pretty impressed.
He was very impressed. Quarter time, he was actually complaining about the sunstroke for a couple of minutes there, actually. But he was really pleased with that quarter, but he says go back to 0-0 mentality, because we said before the game we're going to be ruthless about this. Put more pressure on McGuinness, because he seems to be the go-to guy in defence, but pressure all around the field he's really pleased with the clearances, excellent, and he's really happy with the overlap they're getting for the mids and the defenders going forward. Here's Chris.
Adam Bester says we've got put in an effort here, but it's not lost, but we've got a big job ahead of us. He's got two North Launceston names on their whiteboard, BCG and Leary. The other two that they're really focusing on. Cohen Stevenson's on Cox-Goodyear this quarter. Coach said to him, no more goals to BCG. And Hasty is on Leary. So we'll see how the second quarter goes.
Thanks, boys, there on the boundary. The ball's in the hand now of the umpires today, who are Nathan Geeson, Riley Stevenson and Mark Tuckett. Officiating. Ball raised aloft. Second quarter action with Rob Soward on City Park Radio, 103.7 and 96.5 FM.
Second quarter underway, and it's going to be an inside 50, a rare one through the agency of Jackson. He's kicked that straight though to Chug. Chug to Bennett. Bombers look to move it out. Leaf Lang, little chip kick. And they're away. Back to Leaf Lang. Onto the left, drives it forward. Nice mark taken there by Pearce. He's on his bike. Moving it quickly, the Northern Bombers. I thought that one might have hit the ground, but that's okay. Taken there by A-Vent. Pumps it inside 50. In the direction of Cox-Goodyear, goes over his head. Demon steady. Move it out, and that's a really nice kick. Oh, mark dropped there. Should have taken that one, Josh Hilda. And the ball's gone out of bounds, but steady under pressure that time, North Hobart. And as was said at quarter time, that's exactly what Adam Bester would have demanded of his players.
Boundary throw in, 60 metres out from North Launceston's goal. First inside 50 of the quarter went to North Hobart. Taken out by Norton. Handball's not great there, looking for Cleaver. He's pushed out of the way. Now the Bombers with strength. Sam Simpson links up with Lee. Now to Pearce, who's having a great game. Inside 50, looking for Leary. Getting in the way there, I think, was Stevenson. Releases the ball. They can't work it out here now. They do now through Norton. Little handball. Bombers are relentless inside attacking 50. They're not going to let it out. Oh, was that a high tackle? Umpire's right there. And is that Brad Cox-Goodyear? It is. Thumbs up, says Max Walker. Oh, he plays on. Round right from the boundary line for goal number 5. Surely not. Surely not, indeed. One behind. 8-3-51. 2 behind, 2 points. Gee, that was the definition of impossible angle there from Brad Cox-Goodyear. But
it was just clever as well, because he knew he was outside his limit. You know, the North Hobart player was still on the ground. Just grabbed it and went. Knew where his limit was.
Stevenson, long kick out here, looking for Leaf Heber. Clears him. Mopping up is Declan Chug. Gets it now to Roney. Roney kicks to the hot spot. Ives there. Also Cox-Goodyear. Goal 5 it is. That's a handful already for Brad Cox-Goodyear. Read it beautifully off the contest. slung it on the left boot, just next to the goal square, and he's put through goal number 5. 9-3-57. North Hobart, 2 behinds, 2 points, Max.
Yeah, look, you say it's a handful already, Dave. It's not the handful of goals that's the issue for North Hobart. It's just the name Brad Cox-Goodyear is the handful at the moment. They just cannot find anyone, and like I said to our listeners before, Sandrick's on him. He's probably the most suitable defender there because of his body strength, but he's just putting on a clinic at the moment.
Oh, he is, and I think they said they were moving Colin Stevenson onto him, but he wasn't in the picture there. Ball's back in the middle. Lee and Jackson doing battle again. This time it's Lee, a nice tap forward, giving his on-ballers a look at it. We're going to have a secondary ball up there just outside the circles. Good pressure there from North Hobart to shut that one down. They'll lock up again. Lee, big smash out in the direction there. Bombers another inside 50. Ball bounces the wrong way. It's going to be okay for the Demons. They come away with it. Young, a little chip kick. Syrian sitting in front of us. It's okay. We're going to have a look at it. An inside 50, and that's a nice mark taken there by Will Groom. Groom, another little chip. That's a poor kick. Didn't have a look.
It was a lazy kick.
Chopped off there by
It
was chopped off there by Leaflang. That wasn't his best option. It was a lazy kick. He really just sort of was a bit half-hearted with that one. It was just like a little chip over the top, and Leaflang chopped it off. But thankfully, no damage done.
Good work there from Josh Bingham to get the intercept there on that kick.
It was. Throw in deep inside the 50 there. Wrestled to the ground was Jack McCulloch. Good body strength there from Alex Lee. McCulloch taking these inside 50. And they'll lock up again. About 25 metres out from the North Hobart goal. Lee, nice tap. Simpson, by hand. That's okay. Out here towards the wing in the direction of Young. Boundary line's going to win that one out there.
Boundary, Tony Webb.
Jack Ahern's receiving a bit of treatment at the moment. He's having his hip area strapped up. Just early in the first quarter, he was actually getting a bit of treatment on that. Looked like it's topping up, but there might be a bit more to it.
Thanks, Tony. Yeah, it's a bit quiet first quarter. Jack Ahern as the boundary throw in. Now, Jackson with a lovely tap to White. Here's a chance for North Hobart. Handball to Leaf Hebber. Under pressure to Norton. He can't pick it up. No one can pick it up. McGuinness might have got a high tackle. Dispossessed was man Shandon. As it's going to be a ball up inside the centre square. The sunshine here at UTAS Stadium.
Unlucky not to get a kick there, McGuinness, like you called, Dave. Just a little bit clumsy there by Simpson, I think it was.
Lee with the tap, finds Simpson. His handball smothered. Roney, little scoop out to Bales. Bales now to half forward, overcooks the kick. Leary though with the recovery. He's going to take it on the 50. He gets the 45. Snaps for goal, just slightly off balance when he kicked it. One behind. Max was up and about. He thought that was going to be another Leary special. But one behind, 9-4-58, leading North Hobart. 2 behinds, 2 points. They clear it out from fullback. Looking here for McGuinness.
McGuinness got a punch in the back of the head as he was the target, Dave, as you've correctly called, and he's got the free kick. He's going to head back towards the centre of the ground. Mark dropped there. There's going to be another chance here for the Bombers. That's a nice measured kick, and that's a beautiful mark taken there by Theo Ives. Is that Theo Ives?
You got it, Rob. You got it.
Yeah, Theo Ives. Look, what a luxury it was for them in the latter part of that first quarter to shift him from full forward to the ruck to give Alex Lee a spell, but he's back at full forward now, Theo Ives. He always presents himself as a big, strong target, and he's going to kick this one. He's got a Dennis Lilly looking run up, but he's going to kick this one from probably around about 25 metres out. And it's on the right side for him as a right footer.
He's a left footer.
He is a left footer. Dear, oh dear. He's working back, and it's hit the post. It's unlucky for Theo Ives. He did all the hard work there, got himself into the right spot, but hit the post. Norton brings it out for North Hobart. Beautiful kick into the sunshine, far away from us here. Carries over the line just in front of the Railway Workers Hill, Dave Moore.
Yes, binoculars time as it's over in that far area of the ground. It's nice, these 1 o'clock games. It's nice bright light here as we're close to the shortest day of the year. There's a few patrons over there sitting in the sunshine. We haven't seen the sun for quite a few days. So it's good to have these conditions for footy on the weekend. Front position Jackson. Got the tap to Norton. Back now to Sandrick, who's been quiet. His kick's not really effective. Ahern back on the ground, can't take the mark. Comes out now. Here's a chance to move it. Ferguson. Back now. Cleared out by North Hobart, but just a blind kick. There's two North Launceston players who can raffle it. Chug gets it to Leaf Lang. Back now to Kerr. Little left foot pass is intercepted. Gee, they could have been away there if he had taken the mark, the North Hobart player. Diving on it is Josh Bingham. And it'll be a ball up centre wing.
Kerr certainly made up for his mistake there. Did you see the push on the North Hobart bloke? He's put him in the next week just about. That big Winnerlear attack on the footy. Love it.
Yes. Born and bred down there in the great footy territory at Winnerlear. Simpson, only as far as McGuinness now. Leaf Heber inside 50. Chance here for the Demons. Finlay Pope does well. Takes possession. He gets caught though. I think he had prior. He did. It'll be a free kick to Declan Chugg. Defence for North Launceston.
Chip back. Taken there by Bales. Bales relays it. Nice. Oh, Justin.
No.
Oh, gee whiz.
Richie Nicholas just overcooked it.
Did overcook it there. It's going to be a relieving free kick there to the Demons, and they're going to have a rare inside 50. Off the pack, smothered. Another butters up. White. Quick kick forward. I think that was Leaf Heber. Bombers look to clear. Shark off the pack. And that's a fantastic shot on goal. And a great goal there from Josh Bingham, who's got North Hobart on the board. First goal of the day for them, 1-2-8. Trailing North Launceston 9-5-59. A great goal there. Opportunistic Josh Bingham, Maxie Walker.
Yeah, just a bit of forward pressure with the small guys, just keeping the ball in there, not letting it out, and that, hopefully they get a bit of confidence from that. Like it's taken them 39 and a half minutes to get a goal in the game, but just prove then what they can do when they just apply the pressure to that North back line. They kept it tight, they kept it one-on-one footy, and just bounced out. Got into the hands of Josh Bingham there, and I think it was his second attempt to have a kick at it because he had one a little bit earlier than that, seconds before, but he finished it off well.
Got a free kick in the centre. We'll get to Tony in the boundary in a moment. The next stoppage is not Sam Simpson, that's Ben Simpson has a free kick. Right in the centre of the ground. He's got Alex Lee at the 45. He's got space to run on. He does. He kicks long inside attacking 50. North Hobart defence under pressure here. Ives smashes away from Campbell. Leary from the boundary line. He's missed everything here, out of bounds on the full. Tony, we'll get to you now. What news have you got for us on the boundary?
Jack Ahern apparently took a knock in training the other day, earlier in the week, and it's a bit tight around there, so they put some heat on in the first quarter, but that didn't do it, so they're chopping up now just to, because the muscles getting a little bit tight there, so they're just trying to give it a bit of added strength there.
Okay, so interesting selection. It's not the time of the year really to bring players into the game that are injured. But they've rolled the dice with him, so let's see if he can get back on the ground. It's in front of the scoreboard in the back pocket, just waiting for a moment. Sure what for, but play's back underway. North Hobart trailing by 51 points. It's a poor kick. Sure the play was there. I think it was the number 26, Matthew Campbell.
Groves is not quite sure where to put that disposal.
Clanger, he hasn't got a clanger column there. Speaking of stats, inside 57 to North Launceston, 4 to North Hobart this quarter. Now Leary has it on the boundary line. Surely with even his magic, he can't score it from the boundary line 50 out. Is it famous last words? He's gone long. And he probably should have centred that ball because he kicked it out of bounds on the full. So Matthew Campbell have a chance to atone. No.
Give it to someone else.
He's going to hand it off to Nick Jackson. Probably a wise move after the last kick.
I don't know whether you give it to a ruckman.
Well, it's not a bad effort there from Nick Jackson. He's kicked it 60 metres out of the fence. Taken by Bingham. He's handballed to a teammate under pressure. He might be caught holding the ball here.
Another good tackle by Mansell, I think it is. Yep. Just applying pressure and doing what the coach asks of him.
I don't know why you'd have a ruckman kick it in either. Like, it's just bizarre.
Up by Geeson, throws it up. Lee wins the tap. Ball pings around. Now quick kick inside 50. Looking there for Connie Young. He takes a contested mark. There against his teammate in David Monks, boy from the Hobart Footy Club. And Connie Young, quietish day, but he's popped up here with a chance at kicking a goal. Come back to the club this year from Scottsdale.
Famous name here, Dave Moore.
Yes, the passing in the off-season of the great Chang Young. It's Cox-Goodyear back on the ground. Connie Young, 45-degree angle, 25 out. And kicks it like the backman he used to be for a one behind. 9-6-60. They lead North Hobart 1-2-8. Been playing 13 minutes in the second quarter. Here's Rob Soward.
They'd be very happy Brad Cox-Goodyear's been off the ground, so things have slowed down a little on the scoring front. North Hobart bring it in the direction of their ruckman, chopped off. So they're going to try and set something up here. Quick kick forward. And that's a really nice mark they're taking. I think that's McGuinness. Move forward quickly. Inside 50 in the direction of Finlay Poke. Not really sure why the Bombers defender in Lockie Mitchell didn't mark that. I always think if you can get two hands on it, you can mark it. But he was keen to get that away from Finlay Poke, and it's double-handed just outside 50 in the North Hobart attacking zone. Finlay Poke still asking the question why that wasn't insufficient intent. Alex Lee takes it out of the ruck. White in North Hobart. Tackled beautifully there by Pearce around the ball. So another ball up this time. A bit further our way, Dave Moore.
Still pretty close at KG5. Glenorchy 19, trail Launceston 20.
Very, very close there. Looks like Jack Avent wrapped up just in front of us here in the sunshine. Another ball up. Lee, big tap to the boundary line. Umpire says a boundary throw in. Directly in front of the commentary position here. So we've had, I think, 4 stoppages and we've moved about 10 metres. This time it's a boundary throw in. Jackson and Lee doing battle. Lee, first hand on. Norton missed it. Jackson hacks it forward. Nice mark taken there. Across half back by Nicholas. He moves it on quickly out in the direction of Manshandon. Kicked a great goal earlier. Bombers looking to set something up here. Bennett kicks to a contest. Off hands and out of bounds. In the sunshine, just in round from the Railway Workers Hill, Dave Moore.
Yeah, just the sting's gone out of the game a bit, Max. Just a goal apiece this quarter.
Yeah, it has. You often see that, don't you, in a game where there's a real flurry in the first quarter and a game gets blown away in that first 30 minutes and sort of, you know, the sting goes out of it. I'm sure the players are saying, let's keep going, and the opposition is saying, you know, we've got to keep going as well, but it just doesn't reach hasn't reached the heights of that first quarter again here.
Here's Manshandon weaving his way through traffic. Little handball over the top, finds Sam Simpson, kicking side 50, looking for, and nearly finding Cox-Goodyear from the spillage. Oscar Mansell kicks to the goal square, 2-on-1 contest. They do pretty well there through David Monks. He gets the fist of the ball and knocks it through for a behind. 9-7-61. They've kicked 1 goal 5 this quarter, the Bombers. North Hobart 1-2-8. They've kicked 1 straight goal. Comes out now to Wright in the back pocket. It's young Sam Wright. He's taken the mark in the long sleeves in the shadows of the grandstand. Taking his time. Only one option really, that's go long down the line, which he does. McCulloch comes from a few back. Good fist in front there though by Kerr. A lot of players around the ball. Hilda gets the handball forward of the contest. Wright is laid upon. Somehow gets it out. We need someone to get a quick kick out of this congestion. I don't think they are, so we're going to get another ball up. Left half forward for the Northern Bombers. Just joined us. Brad Cox-Goodyear's kicked 5 goals. 4 in the first quarter. 1 in at the second. Ives, good tap. Nearly finds a teammate there in Avent. He's tackled from behind though. And we're going to get a secondary stoppage. Stats for Dave Gruber. Inside 50 is now 10-4 the Bombers' way this quarter. They were deadly accurate in that first quarter, kicking 8 goals 2. But as I said, the 1 goal 5 this quarter. Nice tap out from Jackson, finds Hilda. The kick now to the centre to Leaf Heber. He's got a break on his opponent. He has to stop to pick the ball up. Releases the handball. They kick inside 50. 1 against 3 here. Just totally outnumbered. They were in attack there. That was Tyler McGuinness up against 3 opponents. They're going to clear it now from half back through Fletcher Bennett. He spots up a teammate on the wing.
All Northern Bombers moving it beautifully. Going to have another look just outside 50. This one's going to land! Cox-Goodyear imposes himself on that contest with a big fly. He's got it off the pack. Cox-Goodyear spins, turns, twists. Quick kick backwards, actually. It's gone back towards the centre of the ground. It's going to beat everyone. Players trying to get their hands on it here. That was nice from Roney. Tried to keep it forward. The umpires found a free kick.
High contact on Bales there, Rob.
Yeah, high contact. Harry Bales looking to set something up.
I reckon Bingham could have put him to sleep then if he wanted to, but he just stood and let Bales come to him.
Chip kick forward, another inside 50, and that's a really, really nice bit of play. He's picked out, just trying to detect the number there, Willman Shandon, as we mentioned earlier, who kicked that terrific goal in the first quarter. He's taken the mark inside 50, and he's lining up to shoot for his second of the day, and he's going to kick this one from probably around about 40 metres when he hits it. Freakish goal earlier. This one a little bit more straightforward. Nice approach, strikes it well. Pushed it though. And he's missed to the near side. As Dave Moore highlighted earlier, that's 1 goal 6, I think, for the quarter for the Northern Bombers. So they'll be ruining a few missed opportunities as they bring it back into play.
Mark taken by Campbell on defensive 50 right against the boundary line. And he spot up a teammate, Lee Feber, goes over his head, taken by Groom. Back now to Sandrick. Sandrick 45 kicks pretty good to Bingham. Bingham tries to get it McLeod. Poor handball. McLeod recovers okay. Norton, handball's at the top, taken away by Roney. The Tasmanian Devil player. Roney down to man Shandon. He's got O'Hearn there and an acre of territory. Railway wing. 2 kicks out from goal. He drops the easy mark. He gets around Keeling pretty easy. O'Hearn gets to 50. Gee, a sideways kick back to man Shandon. And Shandon thinks about launching. Just a little chip kick, but not really a target there to go to. Still a chance for North Launceston. Ball flying around everywhere there in the forward line, but no one can pick it up. I think it's going to be a stoppage here. Deep in attack. No, it's let go on. Josh Bingham gets a kick out, but straight to Sam Simpson. The boy from Scotch Oakburn. He goes to centre the ball to Avents, who takes the mark. 40 out. Pretty much the same spot that Manchan had shot on goal a couple of minutes ago. 9.5 minutes gone. Bombers 54 points up.
Just in his distance here, I reckon, Dave. Just on his distance.
I was just going to say, Dave, it sounds a stupid thing to say, but it's almost like they've gone into their shell with their inside 50s. They didn't have any structure those last couple, did they?
No. It's a lot of players back there, though, as well now. The Demons. Anyway, Jackie Avent gets maximum distance with the kick, but he's off to the right as well. So 9 goals, 9-63 to 1-2-8. So that's 1 goal 7 in this quarter, Rob Soward.
Yeah, look, they'd be disappointed with that. Like I said, they've just lacked a bit of structure there. Campbell brings it out for North Hobart. That's a nice mark there to Leaf Heather. He's looking further afield. The next kick will be the trick. Oh, dear, oh dear. That's not what he wanted. He's picked Max Roney out, who's pumped it inside 50 again. Oh, carries hands. Quick kick forward. Oh, bounce is going to upset him. The North Hobart defender, I think that was Campbell, punched that one over. Gee whiz, that was dangerous. Jackson was back there as well. So Bingham, I think that is it? About to bring it in?
I think it's Charlie Hasty.
Hasty, you're right, yeah. The long sleeves got me. Bombers again. And have another look at it, but coming away on the far side of the ground to North Hobart. It's going to sit. Northern Bombers again. Mitchell under pressure. Tackle. Umpire said that's holding the ball. Good pressure. They've been good around the footy, North Hobart. It's just been the other parts of the game that unfortunately has let them down.
Josh Bingham, that tackle there on Nicholas. He's the goal kicker so far for North Hobart. Kicks to half forward here, looking for their target in McCulloch. He's double teamed every time. So taken away by White though. Back towards McCulloch, the big man on the run. Handball's forward to the contest. Josh Hilder gets through, centres the ball. Can't take the mark there, Groom. Mopping up for the Bombers is Pearce. Handball's backwards, Mitchell drops the handball. Now to Kerr, will be under pressure. Just thumps it out of there. But falls in the hands of Bradley Young. Young wide on 50. He goes here looking for McCulloch once again. Lee with the hit away. Taken there was Bingham. Couldn't get a shot on goal. Now out towards Sandrick. And I think it's going to be a ball up. Max, they're a bit one-dimensional going inside 50. Poor Jack McCulloch, he's up against 3 every time. They need to find another target.
Yeah, and it's like I spoke about at the beginning of the game, and they just breed off each other, those North defenders. They know what to do. They know where the target's going to be. Just get in the right spot. Just watching Lockie Mitchell. He's playing the the quarterback role really, really well. You know, he's been in the goal square there for probably 30 seconds by himself. When the ball's high up off the ground, he's the last line of defence for him. He's just gets better each game, Lockie Mitchell.
Punched over the boundary line. There's a nice punch away there. I think it was Charlie Hasty, late inclusion, thwarting his Bombers opponent there, but Bombers would be a little bit disappointed with the wasted opportunities. Obviously a handy lead, but imagine what it would be had they have kicked straight. Boundary throw in, tapped out of the air. A lot of bodies around the footy. The umpire will ball that up again. Half forward flank for North Hobart. Ruckman do battle Lee. Nice little tap. Simpson is in the Ben variety. Holding the ball. Took too long, and that's going to be a free kick there to Norton.
He's tried hard so far today. He's been in amongst it.
Yeah, he's been
one of the better ones.
He's battled away. He's pumped it inside 50. Stack of players there. Bombers defence sets. Bales. Back to Chug. There's chip kick forward. That's a really nice mark taken there by Max Rainey. Been busy early. He's saying settle it down. 23 minutes 41 seconds gone in the second term. Kick's just in front of us. Ahern. Terrific mark. Moves it on quickly to Pearce. Pearce moves it on quickly in the direction of Connie Young. But well positioned there. Matthew Campbell taking a very nice mark in defence.
Campbell works it back deep in defence to Hasty. Hasty squaring kick. So patient build up here with Cohen Stevenson. He takes a bounce inside defensive 50, sums up his options, releases a kick. The numbers are here pretty much with North Hobart as Leafhebber takes it. Got a poke in the eye a moment ago, but he's back on the ground. Sam Simpson, back to Fletcher Bennett. Over the top to Mitch Nicholas. Simpson again, kicks inside 50. But Campbell takes the mark. Oh, must have been touched. He has to get rid of it quickly. Leary now, snaps on goal. It's going to be a free kick, but it's going to be advantage. And Leary puts through his second goal. And the Bombers 10th. So incorrect dispose there. A bit of bad luck for Matthew Campbell, it has to be said. So it was just touched off the boot as the kick came inside 50. He took the mark. He thought he had it. Got tackled, threw the ball away, and then Leary pounced and snapped the goal.
A lot of bad luck there, Dave. It was just one of those things in footy, isn't it? You don't see it from here, the touch, and you think the guy's got a mark, but the call's out there, play on, and which he had to do, and incorrect disposal. And that man, Brandon Leary, just lurked on it and finished his second for the day. Had a couple of other ones where probably he'd be disappointed in. Tell you who I'm thinking Fletcher Bennett. We don't call him a lot, but he gets the ball 15 or 20 times a game.
And he's efficient.
And he never wastes the disposal.
Demons come away with it, but it just doesn't sit for him, and it's Bombers again. Bomber time. Nice kick forward there in the direction of Leary. Well, who knows what he'll do from here.
Kick a goal, that's what he's going to do, Rob.
He just does that freaky stuff so well, and I'd have to say, Max, I'm going to be with you on this one. I'm going to put my colours to the mast. I reckon out of any player in this league, he is the most AFL ready player in terms of he's just got that ability to do those tricks. I'd love to see a club give him an opportunity. Moves in here. He's going to kick this one from around about 35 metres out from goal. It's not his best. It's pushed across the face. Jackson will take the mark. I think the umpire's paid that. Yeah. Jackson there deep in defence as he's been most of the day for North Hobart. So gettable opportunity there, missed by Leary. But he does the freaky stuff so well. I'm not sure what happened there. It's going to be Bombers again. They're going to have another look at it. North Hobart steady. And come away, mark taken there to Jack McCulloch.
Disappointing that McCulloch's got to get his ball up on half back, isn't it? You know, he's just starved of opportunities at the moment. You can't blame him for getting up the field there to try and get his hands on it. But they're just so stagnant. The defence of North Launceston is just not allowing them any opportunity to pinpoint a target at all.
Here they go now, attacking 50, but the only man there is Max Roney. He should take a comfortable chest mark, and he does. He's got a releasing kick now, Fletcher Bennett. He can run and carry, runs his full measure. Kicks up the wing looking for Young, not a great kick. And Matthew Campbell, who's been involved with a lot of the footy this quarter, good and bad, takes the mark. Kicks to half forward. Chance here for the D's late. Max Rainey takes it as the siren sounds. And it's North Launceston 10 goals, 10-70. With 2 goals, 8 in that quarter. The North Hobart boys are 1-2-8. They kicked their one straight goal in that quarter. So a margin of 62 points while the boys add up the goal kickers. Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas for your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. Who's got the honours of the goal kickers, boys?
Yep, we've got Cox-Goodyear leading all comers on the ground with 5. Brandon Leary 2, Oscar Mansell 2, both in the first quarter, and 1 to Man Shandon. And for North Hobart, the solitary goal kicker in that quarter, number 10 for them, young Josh Bingham. So
commanding lead at half-time to North Launceston. No major injuries at the moment. They're looking pretty fit, and they're on a big run of wins as they head towards the top spot on the ladder, depending on what happens today in the Tigers-Clarence game. Dave Gruber just about added up his stats here. He's doing a great job as usual. He's been pretty busy in this first half because there's been a fair bit going on, especially at the Northern Bombers end. Let's have a look at the headouts today. 33-13 to half-time, the Bombers' way. 14-7 in the in the second quarter. Clearances, 17 apiece. So we talked about, Rob, North Hobart around the ball haven't been too bad. They've been getting out of the clearances, but nothing really effective. Nothing that's resulted in scoring opportunities.
No, that's right, Dave. When the Bombers have won the clearance, it's come out quickly and given their forwards first look at it.
And they're 31 inside 50s to 13 to half-time. 16-9 in that quarter, the Bombers' way. 10 marks inside 50. Max, that's a fair bit for half a footy, isn't it?
Well, it is. And 10 marks, we know we haven't got 10 goals from those marks, but probably 50% of them have nearly resulted in goals.
So 10-1 in that stat. Free kicks, 10 to North Launceston, 9 to North Hobart. And intercept marks, 13 to North Launceston and 8 to North Hobart. We'll take a break here on City Park Radio. We've got Anthony Osborne who's going to join us after the break. He's been keeping an eye on a pretty interesting clash at KG5 between Glenorchy and Launceston. He's also going to have a bit of a chat to us about the big state game next Saturday. We'll hear from him after the break.
Play your cards right this winter with new LPG deals from Elgas. Whether you're moving in or you're settled in, make the switch online today. From LPG account credits, fixed pricing and carbon offset options, Elgas has got you covered. Don't lose out this winter. Visit the website, choose your new deal and sign up today. Go online, www.elgas.com.au. Elgas, local, safe and reliable.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
Being a member of City Park Radio brings you closer to our community because it's community radio, staffed by volunteers who love what they do.
It's easy to become a member and pay a little for the pleasure of listening to City Park Radio for around $1 a week.
Community radio is listener-subscriber radio.
Check out the subscription page on our website, cityparkradio.com, or phone us on 6334 3344.
City Park Radio.
A recreation of one of the greatest live albums of all time will be showcased this July in Tasmania. Peter Byrne and the 30-piece Tasmania Pop Symphony Orchestra will be bringing Neil Diamond classic Hot August Night to the stage. All the hits recreated in their original format from this epic live album. Friday, 21st July, Princess Theatre Launceston. Saturday, 22nd July at West Point Casino, Hobart. Tickets available now at both venues' box office or online.
A sponsor of City Park Radio. You're listening to great TSL action, Tasmanian State League football on City Park Radio.
Big lead here at half-time to the Northern Bombers, 10-10-70, leading North Hobart 1-2-8. Around the grounds at Bellreeve, 6-3-39 the Tigers, lead Clarence 4-2-26, so pretty high scoring, entertaining first quarter there. And we're at half-time with a 1 o'clock start also at KG5. And keeping an eye on that game from AFL Tasmania, welcome to City Park Radio to Anthony Osborne. Good afternoon, Anthony.
G'day, Dave. G'day, guys. Yeah, it's a much closer affair down here at KG5. It's a game that seemingly on the ladder you'd think Launceston will be well and truly on top of, but full credit to Glenorchy. It's the Blues leading 3-3-21 to Glenorchy 3-1-19 at the main break, so a real arm wrestle on our hands.
Wow, that's a really surprising result. Of course, we've seen Glenorchy have been in some games to half-time, and it's a question whether they can sustain that effort and pull off an upset. What do you think?
Yeah, that's going to be the challenge for them from here. We've seen that even last year under Aaron Cornelius, they did a lot of things right. They structured up really well, and Josh Arnold has really continued that this year. And a lot of these young players have now got an extra 20 or so senior games of experience under their belt. So the challenge is going to be sticking with a competitor, I suppose, that's far more experienced and on paper a lot stronger. But so far, full credit to Glenorchy, they've really made things difficult for the Blues on the road.
So what have you liked about their game in the first half?
Yeah, it's been a lot of rain the last 24, 48 hours down here in Hobart. The conditions are pretty good overhead, but still quite a slow track at KG5. And I think Glenorchy have really just made it a grind. They've been really physical, really contested, and haven't given Launceston any easy disposal. And interesting to watch with the Blues, a lot of their ball movement has been quite slow and quite stifled. Glenorchy just setting up really well behind the ball, and I guess trying to kind of go the other way by moving the ball a little bit quicker. Hasn't quite resulted in lots of scoreboard reward, but they do find themselves well and truly in the game for half time. For Launceston, Brodie Palfreyman's been enormous. He just continues to win the football at will, as he has done across the course of this season and last. And I think he's going to be a player Glenorchy will need to put a fair bit of time into in the second half, just to try and quell his influence and get on top around the ball.
Now, is that famous KG5 glue pot in operation this afternoon?
Yeah, it's a funny ground, KG5. I think the breeze today, at least, isn't causing a factor. We've seen that a few times this year, where there's the breeze going across the ground from the broadcast side. It's not quite playing a factor today, but we do know at KG5 that the ball can get stuck in that pocket for long periods of time, and that has been the case today. And it'll be interesting to see how the second half plays out. The centre of the ground is starting to look very soft underfoot, and we do know that around the middle of KG5 it can become quite a scrappy, contested game, and you'd think that would favour some of the bigger bodies around the ball for Launceston. But on the other side of things, it could also just halt any, the risk of Launceston kicking quickly. So Glenorchy, they're going to favour themselves to really lay a challenge down to Launceston today. Of course, the Blues coming off the bye, but they're going to have a lot of work to do across the second half of this game.
Now, Max has got a question for you, Anthony.
Just got a couple of quick questions there, Anthony. One, I think Mitch Thorpe was named as an emergency. Is he playing? And secondly, are you sitting up in that luxurious commentary box that you, Dave, and I had the pleasure of when the rain was coming in horizontally at us?
Yeah, well, we do know, Maxie, that commentary box can really test the commentators' strength and capacity to call the game up in there. At least today, the rain's not quite causing the havoc. We have young Bo Downham and Jacob Bevis on the call today, which is fantastic. With Mitch Thorpe, haven't seen him out there today. So it's been interesting. We've seen Thorpe named as an emergency a few times throughout the year, but we've, as I said before, I think the likes of Palfreyman for Launceston have been really impressive, and I've also liked the efforts of young Madden as well. We've seen him do the majority of the ruck work for Launceston today, and he's a young player, obviously up against a pretty inexperienced ruck combination at Glenorchy, but just a young player who I'm liking the look of so far.
Now, mate, we'll turn our attention now to the game next Saturday. It's been publicised as being the return of state footy that we haven't seen for quite a while, and it's Tasmania versus Queensland. How are the preparations coming along from AFL Tas's point of view?
Yeah, it's a really exciting opportunity, Dave. I think it's been fantastic to see the footy community and the Tasmanian community more broadly really get around this concept and the return of state footy coming back. The Tassie men's side haven't played a senior game since before COVID. An under-25 team played in 2019 against Big Metro, and for the women it's been a long time. It was 2016 since we've last had a senior state women's team playing. So it's a really exciting return of that concept to Tassie, and I think having it at the traditional home of Tasmanian football in the south at North Hobart Oval is going to be fantastic. Matt Weller, as coach of the men's side, has done a fantastic job with his assistant coaches, and Deb Reynolds has done a really good job with the women's as well. They've just putting the final pieces, I suppose, together of what their teams are going to look like, and we'll have team announcements announced in the middle of next week. But from what I've seen across the training sessions that they've had, both of the coaching units have done a fantastic job of really bringing these players together. Of course, a lot of them have played a lot of football against one another, but getting that team chemistry and that team bonding is a really significant challenge, and I think they've done a fantastic job. I think for the women's side of things as well, having the Women's All-Star Series wrap up last Saturday has probably allowed a lot of the players from the same region to, get a little bit of chemistry together from their performances for the SFL, the NWFL and the NTFA. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how these teams come together against Queensland, who we know are going to come down with plenty of talent as well.
Now, for our listeners and viewers, Anthony, the Queensland team is basically a team picked out of their QAFL, or QAFL as it's known.
Yeah, that's right. We don't have the final details of their team just yet, but similar to the Tassie team, it was going to be a team open to players from all across the state. So we don't have the final details of what their final team is going to look like. My anticipation would be that the majority are going to be from the QAFL or the QAFL. And an exciting element of that, we saw with the initial squad that Queensland released, a number of Tasmanians actually part of that squad as well. So it's going to be a return home for a number of ex-Tasmanians who now reside in Queensland. I know Brandon Batchelor used to play a bit of footy down at Kingborough, is part of that group. I know Matt Doran, who also played some football at the Hobart City Demons, as they were then known, is also in the squad as well. So I think there are 4 or 5 Tasmanians, and it'll be an interesting experience for them, I think, to come back home and play against their home state.
Now, for the Tassie team, I believe, and I think for both teams, a bit of an age restriction. A certain number of players have to be under 23.
Yeah, that's right. So it's 5 players born from 2000 onwards. So it's interesting. I know talking to Matt Weller and the men's coaching group with Aaron Cornelius, Adam Bester and Trent Bormala, that we do have a real a glutton, I suppose, of players born in around 1999. So there's a lot of players who are right on the cusp of being part of that age group. But we know that, particularly across the TSL, there are a lot of really exciting young players who have been putting their hand up for selection. So I don't think that's going to be a major selection headache in terms of picking those players in the team. But yeah, I don't envy the role of Mav or Deb at the moment, trying to put these teams together. There's so much talent across the state, and I think you've got a lot of questions of how you play certain players, like a Sam Siggins. You could probably play in 4 or 5 different roles. The same with a Jack Tompkinson. What do you do with a guy like Jake Hines? Do you play him as a deep forward? Do you play him further up the field? These are the sorts of questions that I'm sure the coaches are working through at the moment. And I'm just really looking forward to seeing the teams announced and then seeing plenty of people cheering on Tasmania at North Hobart Oval next Saturday.
That leads to my next question, Anthony. Details of the day. I believe there's 3 games during the day. What are their start times and who's playing?
Yeah, that's right, Dave. So the Tasmania Devils are playing a Coates Talent League boys match first thing, so that's at 9:30. Then we've got the state women's game, Tassie and Queensland, at 11:55, and then the men at 2:15 as well. So we've expecting obviously a lot of talk around Tasmanian football at the moment, a lot of excitement around the possibilities of Tasmanian football, and I think the return of the MAP to the senior stage is going to be a really exciting opportunity for people to get around their home state and get around Tasmanian football at North Hobart Oval. We've had some pre-sale tickets up and they've been tracking really well, so we're hoping we get lots of people along at North Hobart Oval. Rain, hail, sunshine, whatever we get, we're really looking forward to seeing people there in attendance and cheering on Tasmania. It's an exciting time for Tasmanian football, and we know that these teams are going to do us proud.
A weather expert has told me, Anthony, that it's going to be all right next Saturday.
Well, if there's anyone in the world I trust, Dave Moore, it will be yourself when it comes to the weather forecast. So I'll be keeping a close eye on your social media throughout the week for any updates. And I'm sure Mav and Deb will be doing the same.
Look, just while we're here, boys, of course, it's the 30th anniversary of, 33rd anniversary today of that great victory back in 1990, Tas versus Victoria. We all remember that one.
Absolutely, Dave. G'day, Anthony. Rob Soward. What a great victory that was, and I'm sure that'll be in the minds of the MAP next weekend.
Same venue.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Rob. I know Andy Bennett, who of course works at AFL Tasmania. I know he's been in conversation with a lot of people who he's been involved with across the journey of representative football. Of course, he's playing a key role as a coach of Tasmania on a number of occasions. I know he's got a few people that will be chatting to the team on Friday night as well at a jumper presentation ceremony. And the same for the women. The first senior state women's game was played in 2011, and a lot of those players are still really keen to get involved, and I suppose wish their very best on to the current crop who have the chance to make their own slice of history next weekend.
And that team from 33 years ago, Anthony, I read somewhere recently, were they having a reunion at Glenorchy today, or was that a couple of weeks ago?
or coming up?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure of the details, Rob. I know that they were definitely catching up for that. I think it's one of the great things about football, isn't it? The opportunity at the time to represent your team, represent your state, but then the lifelong friendships and bonds that you form as well. And that's a good segue because we've got the Tasmanian Football Hall of Fame dinner happening next month as well. And I know talking to a few people during the week from across the state, they're really keen to come along and reflect on some of those memories as well. And as we said, next weekend, these Tasmanian teams have the chance to make their own slice of history, and hopefully we're talking about them in 30 years' time as well.
Now, speaking of the Hall of Fame, big announcement yesterday about the Penguin Footy Club.
Yeah, the Penguin Footy Club being inducted as a great club of Tasmanian football, Dave, which is absolutely fantastic. I know, talking to a lot of people around the club and some of the work that the Ideas Bank team has done with some of the AV for the event, just a fantastic story around the club. They've been around for a long period of time and perhaps haven't had the on-field success of other clubs, but just play such an important role in their community. And so many great players who have come through the Penguin Football Club who have, dominated at a local football level or gone on to play at the AFL. And the real, the growth of the football club in recent years with the addition of their NWFL women's team as well has, really, it's a fantastic story. And I think everyone involved in the Penguin Football Club are thoroughly deserving of the honour of that club being recognised officially as a great club in the Tasmanian Football Hall of Fame.
I think it's a great story there, Anthony, as you mentioned. Perhaps haven't won the most premierships, but just that community bond and some absolute legends of the game, as you've said. Who could forget bustling Billy Fielding?
Absolutely.
So great community and well-deserved honour to the Penguin 2 Blues.
Now, Anthony, we're about to get underway here pretty soon. Just before we go, how do we get tickets for next Saturday for people who want to go?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Dave. So if you do jump onto the AFL Tasmania website or AFL Tasmania social media accounts, there is a try-booking event page that's open for the state games. So we have early bird tickets available for $10. They'll be closing later in the week. And then on the gate, tickets will also be available for $15 for adults. Children under 16 are all free. That will stay the same on the gate as well. And there are also some corporate box opportunities available as well. So if you jump onto the AFL Tasmania Facebook page, that's probably the best place to start, or the AFL Tasmania website.
And finally, that half-time score again at KG5.
Yeah, it's a 3-3-21 Launceston, 3-1-19 Glenorchy. And just before we go, just like to also say congratulations, Dave, on winning the AFL Merit Award a month or so ago. I know that you're a very humble man, but the work that you do and the City Park Radio team is absolutely fantastic to local football and the Tasmanian sporting community. So congratulations to you, but also to the City Park Radio team more broadly for really embracing and championing local footy.
Thanks very much, Anthony. It was a real pleasure to win the award on behalf of the team we've got here, both at the venue, also back in the studio. People like Chris Ball, who's been there since the start. So really appreciate the support there of you guys. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thanks, guys. Call well.
Thanks very much. We've probably got time for a short break before we start back again. And when we come back, we'll have third quarter action here at UTAS Stadium.
Mr. Lotto here. If you need Lotto, we're open. If you need post, we're open. If you need magazines, we're open. In fact, we're open for everything, pretty much all the bleeding time. And weekends. Good, innit? So, what are you waiting for? Come on in. Invermay News Agency. Serving you when you need us most. Terry Pie.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
City Park Radio relies on its members, volunteers and local business to maintain the programs you enjoy. And you can support them and the wide variety of programs by making a donation to the station. It's so easy for you to donate. Just head to our website, cityparkradio.com, on your PC or smart device and click the donate button. Anything over $2 is tax deductible and you'll receive your receipt immediately by email. Donate now to City Park Radio.
Play your cards right this winter with new LPG deals from Elgas. Whether you're moving in or you're settled in, make the switch online today. From LPG account credits, fixed pricing and carbon offset options, Elgas has got you covered. Don't lose out this winter. Visit the website, choose your new deal and sign up today. Go online, www.elgas.com.au. Elgas, local, safe and reliable.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
You're listening to Tasmanian State League Football on City Park Radio.
Down to the boys, quickly on the boundary, Chris.
So took his team behind closed doors. In fact, the coaching staff were behind closed doors for most of the time before they brought the team in. So they're obviously going to try a few things to try and get this game back on track. Here's Tony.
Much the same happened at the other end. But having said that, I don't think North will be happy with the fact they kicked 2 goals 8 as opposed to the 8 goals 2 in the first quarter. Their motto for the day, or the mantra for the day, is be ruthless. So I dare say the Barrett won't have been pleased with that, and he'll be calling for a repeat of quarter 1 as opposed to quarter 2.
Thanks, Tony and Christy on the boundary. Third quarter action. Here's Rob Soward.
Monks has gone into the ruck there for North Hobart, which is an interesting one. But it's going to be, as we started the first, a bit of a wrestle over here between Monks and Lee. It's going to be Simpson coming away with a free kick, giving the Bombers first look at it, and he's found that man Theo Ives. No, it's not. It's the guy that always looks like Theo Ives, but is indeed Harvey Griffiths.
You can tell by the blue boots, Rob. There's a tip.
There's a tip.
Blue boots is Harvey.
I'll file that one away. They've got the same hairdresser. A nice mark there from Harvey Griffiths from a good kick by Ben Simpson. Griffiths in the blue boots moves in close to the man on the mark. Looks all right off the boot. Looks really good off the boot. Straight over the goal umpire's head. Just the sort of start the Bombers want and that the Demons don't. And the Bombers move on to 11-10-76. North Hobart 1-2-8. Maxie Walker. You would be ripping your hair out if you're Adam Bester.
Oh, if I had hair, I'd be ripping it out. But, yeah, look, very unorthodox mark there from Griffiths, the way he sort of wrapped his arms around it on the chest. It looked a little bit awkward, but done it quite easily. Just while we've got a break in play, just for our listeners, under 16 Devils boys played in Melbourne today against the Northern Territory. Final score, Devils 19-10, 124 to the Northern Territory 1-4-10, and some outstanding performances. Nick Steele, 29 disposals. Riley McHenry, 8 inside 50s. Jasper Hayes, 17 hit-outs. And Anthony Volt, 6 clearances. So well done, boys, and coaching staff.
Well done to the Devils there as Norton now, half-back for North Hobart. Considers Sandrick, dangerous kick here, looking for Campbell, who takes a strong mark. Matthew Campbell, little kick now to Austin Keeling. Keeling, funny sort of kick, looking for Leaf Hobart, but the man in front is Alex Lee, who takes a strong mark. Switches it now to Roney, can't run on up against Groom. Roney to the 50, finds Oscar Mansell. Probably outside his range. He's kicked a couple today. He goes short to Cox-Goodyear, who will line up for goal number 6. 2 minutes into the third quarter.
Just adding to that Devil stuff, Dave, quickly. Jack Miller kicked 5, and multiple guys kicked 3 as well, 3 or 4. So everyone got amongst it today.
And of course, the Devils under 18s play tomorrow against the Geelong Falcons. Here comes Cox-Goodyear. As I said, for goal number 6, it's 6 of the best to Brad Cox-Goodyear. Puts it through, and the Northern Bombers go further ahead. That's 2 goals in 2 minutes. 12-10-82. North Hobart 1-2-8, margin of 74 points. And, Adam Bester won't be happy with the start of this quarter, Max.
No, he certainly won't. North Launceston have started identically as how they did in that first quarter. They're enjoying kicking goals at the city end, and Adam Best would be very disappointed. We heard the boundary riders saying that they were scratching their heads and trying to work out something different in there at half time, but so far nothing's changed.
One thing that I will give North Hobart, they've come out to try to give some support to McCulloch, and they actually pushed Jackson to centre half forward, which is why he's not in the ruck. So anyway, the Bombers have started like they finished off, and they've got hands on it again, trying to move it forward here at the moment. A lot of numbers around the ball. Leaf has picked it up. I think he might have got a free kick there. No, he's given it up. Jack Sandrick. Inside 50 there for North Hobart. Bombers defenders rally around. Pressure around the ball's terrific. Quick kick forward. A nice high ball. Probably got snow on it. Umpire's picked out a free kick. And it's going to be to Jack McCulloch. Holding free kick, was it, Dave?
It was. I think what they've done, Max, I think they've shifted Jackson forward to help out McCulloch, and they put Monks in the ruck. Probably just to make a contest of it. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, smart move. We've all said today that McCulloch 1 out against 3 good Bombers defenders wasn't working for them. And they've got to kick goals. It's as simple as that. McCulloch will have his first look at it. Moves in, strikes it well. Goal umpire working a bit though. He's pushed it, and it's going to be 1 behind, which isn't what they wanted. They move on to 1-3-9. The Northern Bombers 12-10-82, approaching the 5-minute mark of the third quarter.
Simpson takes the kick out, short to his mate, Avent. 45 kick now to Fletcher Bennett on defensive 50. He goes sideways to Sam Simpson. Back on the side. Played a bit of senior footy this year now. Up here looking for Mansell, who flies against a couple of demons. Mansell plays for the free kick against Norton. Norton wins the contest, but he coughs it up straight to Ives. He gives it back to Norton. And now to Young, whose kick smothered. Chance here, Pearce. He'll meet the contest. Snap on goal, needs a friendly bounce, doesn't get it. Taken through there by Charlie Hasty for 1 behind. So once again, that scoring opportunity from the kick out there from North Launceston. Hasty goes wide, looking there for Leafheber. Stays in play. Nice handball to McGuinness. Good running footy here, North Hobart. Handball's not great here, looking for Groom. He picks it up okay, though. Goes short looking for McCulloch, but it's a poor kick. Easy mark to Fletcher Bennett.
Bennett moves it back towards the middle. Ben Simpson takes it. Long kick out the other side.
To his brother.
To his brother. They've done that in the backyard, I reckon, a few times. BCG takes it across half back. Chips back towards the middle. All Bombers at the moment, they look really good with their running. Griffiths in those blue boots. Inside 50. Demon steady. Nice take there. Back in the direction of Norton. By hand. Campbell. Campbell back towards the middle of the ground. He's almost picked out Alex Lee. He's gone back towards the centre circles. Simpson. Another inside 50. The direction of Ives. The arms were taken. Picked up there. I think that's Manchandon. Shot on goal. Hit the post. Unlucky there. I think that was Manchandon, wasn't it? Yeah, very lively, Will Manchandon.
He and Oscar Mansell look quite alike.
Kicked a terrific goal earlier, but found the post that time, unfortunately.
So getting some good quick transference to play, Max.
Yeah, they've when they get on their bike and prepared to, run and carry and then kick, and there's always an overlap runner there, like you say, for both sides at the moment, Dave. So quick transitions, but not resulting in goals for North Hobart.
Angus Norton finds some space, kicks here looking for Monks. It's fisted away from him by Leary, out of bounds. And so it's opened up in this third quarter. So despite the disparity of the margin, we're seeing some good footy.
Good little mullet on the central umpire, Dave.
Yep.
He's a ripper.
He's real business at the front, party at the back, isn't he?
My word, he is.
Some of the cup umpires I'm not as familiar with today, so it's either Riley Stevenson or Mark Tuckett. Because I know Nathan Geeson, seen him a few times. He's right now. Little left foot kick to the wing. Leading it hard is Monks, who takes it, runs into 2 Bombers, dispossessed, close to the boundary line. Leary sees it over.
Yeah, I just love Jacob Kerr's attack on the footy there, Dave. As we always say, he just gives his best all the time. Hard at it. Busted that contest up.
So Lee against Jackson, who's back in the ruck. So his time in the forward line didn't last very long. Lee wins a tap to Avent. Beautiful ruck work by Lee. Avent kicks inside 50. It's over the head there of Griffiths. Ives tries to take the mark. Well done in front there by number 21, Tom Ferguson. Now Campbell. Sideways to Hasty. Finds Sandrick in the middle of UTAS Stadium. His handball under pressure now to Norton. Back to Sandrick. They did that okay. And they've created a loose man. Whoa, gee, wants a collision there between White and McGuinness. They worked it out at the last second, thankfully. And Tyler McGuinness kicks inside 50, looking for Leafheber, who's swamped, but takes the mark. Strong hands, Thomas Leafheber.
Great.
Plays on at Leafheber, terrible kick. Lucks of fortune, falls in the lap of Bingham, who kicks his second for North Hobart. Josh Bingham from 30 out, put it on the boot, and that's the second goal to North Hobart. And they move along to 2-3-15. The Bombers 12-12-84. 2 goals now to the number 10, Josh Bingham.
Yeah, very lucky there by Leafheber that...
nice
Bingham,
mark, though, from Leafheber.
It was a great grab, but not quite sure with the brain fade and the kick as to what he was trying to achieve there to Bingham, but he was classy enough to to put a bit of polish on the end of that and kick their second.
Well, they pushed Jackson back into the ruck. I do think it was a good move that they came out and tried some different things. I mean, when you're down by 9 goals, 10 goals at half time, you've got to do something. So that's where Adam Bester, I think, will be really, really good for North Hobart. He's a very educative coach, and he's got a young bunch who seemingly get better each time we see them. Lee with a nice punch out. Tackle there, could have been holding the ball. The umpires agreed with me, and he's paid a free kick there to Jackson. Not returned the ball. We saw a 50 the other night for that one, but not today, sensibly. And that's White. Just outside the centre square for North Hobart. Little kick from White. Bombers have got the numbers around the contest here, and they'll come away with it. Quick hands. Looking back to Lee. Drive driven forward. It's carried nicely and set there beautifully for Pearce. Pearce inside 50 in the direction of Cox-Goodyear. Not a good kick. North Hobart have got the numbers. Steady, and that's a nice mark on the far side of the ground there. Can't see that player's number.
It's Tom White, I think. Yep.
It is White, yes. Beautifully called there. Steadying down. We saw this chip approach from them before.
Tom Ferguson, right half back. Kick up the wing here, looking for Jackson, who's been one of their best today. He takes another mark. Probably taken 7 or 8 marks across this game. Kicks it to the fellow ruckman Lee, though, but nicely judged there by McGuinness. Tyler McGuinness, former Tassie Devil player.
He's a tall on baller, isn't he?
He is, yep, very athletic. He's a really good underager. He's graduated well into senior footy. Twirling the footy, he's backing himself here. Not breeze to speak of. Tram passes by in the distance. Here comes McGuinness. It's pretty low. Distance, nearly. Mark in this goal square. And I think that's David Monks when he turns around. It is the number 36. And this will be 2 in a row for North Hobart. And 2 goals apiece in the quarter. David Monks from the goal square kicks their 3rd goal. 3-3-21. The Bombers 12-12-84. Couple of fine marks there. Firstly to McGuinness and then to David Monks, Max.
Yeah, it was. And I put an asterisk next to McGuinness early on. I was just hoping to see, he's one of their prime movers. He's experienced. He's played underage state footy and had a relatively quiet day today. But that good, strong mark over there on the half-forward flank might just kickstart his game with a bit of luck. And a good, strong, I won't say uncontested mark for Monks in the goal square, but the North Launceston defenders would be relatively disappointed that no one could get a bit of body on him and at least put a decent attempt to spoil on that one. But
I like that they're trying a few different things, North Hobart. That's how you learn.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Elgas for your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. Back underway.
Lee and Jackson do battle again, as they've done most of the day. Sam Simpson, 360-degree turn, holding the ball. When you start doing that, that's what happens. Jackson, being one of North Hobart's best, gives him another look inside 50. Nice kick. Bombers have got the numbers around the ball, but they've paid the mark there too. Jack McCulloch, I thought there might have been some other hands on it. His pair of hands, obviously adjudged as the ones that
Good call, Rob.
Yeah.
Good call. Good mark.
So they've had a nice little bit of play here, North Hobart, in the last few minutes. 2 goals in a row, lining up for the 3rd in a row through the agency of Jack McCulloch, one of their key players. Moves in, 25 metres out. The umpire works a bit, but that's okay. So a great quarter so far for North Hobart. They move on to 4-3-27. Trailing Northern Bombers 12-12-84, Max Walker.
But another one of those semi-uncontested marks that I just spoke about a moment ago when Monks took his in the goal square. McCulloch's is just that little bit further out, but the same sort of semi-contested, uncontested, which North Launceston haven't been renowned for. They've normally got 1 or 2 guys spoiling those, so good little fight back here by the North Hobart Demons.
Still tight at KG5. Launceston 35, Lee Glenorchy 33.
We'll just see how the Bombers respond here. I mean, obviously a comfortable margin on the scoreboard, but they certainly as the form team, they won't be happy with what they're seeing at the moment.
Ahern picks it up, gets the handball sideways. Norton in there, diving on the ball. So 14 minutes gone, 3 goals to 2 this quarter, North Hobart. So that would please Adam Besser after they gave away 2 goals in the first 2 minutes. They've steadied with 3 of their own. Lee with the tap out, then out of mid-air to Blade Sulzberger. North Hobart get the hand in, Josh Hilder coughs it up to Lee once again to the pocket. It's going to be too wide and it's out of bounds. So Cohen Stevenson, the match-up on Brad Cox-Goodyear. Of course, he kicked 4 in the first quarter. And he's kicked 2 since. Make it 6 in this game. The bounty throw in, left forward pocket. Lost our sunshine just for the moment. A pleasant day here at UTAS Stadium. Front position, that was Ives in the ruck now. Sulzberger's kick smothered by Leafheber. Sails into the grandstand. So it will be a boundary throw in. There's one of the patrons nearby. Comes down to retrieve the ball. City Park Radio Sport next week from 2 o'clock. We're at North Hobart Oval. Yes, it's a road trip. Mood Food will be our sponsor for the day. Groobs and I love it.
It's come a long way, Mood Food, too, hasn't it? My crikey.
Since I first visited there in the 70s, as Eyes wins the tap. Leary, I think, sharks that. And holding the ball. Good tackle from behind. Sulzberger it was, thanks, Max.
It's almost gourmet there now when you go there. Not just the Bain Marie of doom as there once was.
Harrison McLeod takes it. Back now to Colin Stevenson, who's the match-up on Cox-Goodyear. Nice kick to White. So they're building something here, North Hobart. Chip kick to Norton. Back to White. Kicks up the wing here. And yes, just taking the mark inside was Hasty. Charlie Hasty short. Fellow sleever there, McLeod. He picks it up, he wheels around, and it's in fact it's Josh Bingham. Bingham to the goal square. Big thump from behind, Leaflang finds a target there, and Simpson. Simpson over the top now to Lee.
Lee by hand. Bombers on the move. Nice bounce there. Oh, untidy. It really looked a little bit ragged in parts here. Settled down there. Back towards the middle of the ground, in dispute. Nice pick up there, Campbell taken away. North Hobart getting another look at it in the direction there of McGuinness. That's a really nice mark from McGuinness inside 50.
With the stand rule, he might just get within range here.
They've certainly looked a lot more composed, North Hobart, that's for sure. And, you know, if you just turned up here now and you didn't look at the scoreboard, you'd think the Demons were in a better state than the Bombers. It can be easy to do that when you do get out to such a big lead in such an early stage. McGuinness moves in, hits it from 50, strikes it beautifully, strikes it really well. That's a great goal. 4 in a row to North Hobart. They move on to 5 goals, 3-33. Bombers 12-12, 84, Max. A bit stagnant at the moment, the Bombers.
Yeah, they certainly are, Rob, and I'm really pleased for McGuinness that he kicked that because he had McCulloch screaming out for it in the square, and he was on Declan Chuck, undersized, and he had to get it in there. It was nearly a guaranteed mark for Big Jack McCulloch, but good finish there by Tyler McGuinness. Done a couple of good things the last 2 or 3 minutes.
And we're starting to see North Hobart getting their way through the North Launceston forward pressure.
Yep,
they're finding a way to get it forward.
Yep, just unlocking it bit by piece, just not trying to bomb it big down the line or anything like that, just chipping the ball around. A couple of overlap runs there which cleared the next contest and got it down to McGuinness.
Out of the middle, here's Simpson, kicks to half forward. From behind, Stevenson tries to lay the sprawl down Leary. Shark by Norton, good player today. Releases the footy, goes back in again, does Norton. Smart there, Leary does Mansell, he's swept upon. Now the tackle there laid on, that was Hasty. Campbell by hands to McGuinness. Now to Sandrick, over the top to Leafheber. Has Finlay Poke, who just slams it forward a bit aimlessly. Good sprawl there by Bingham. He was out of position in that contest on Bales. Bingham with a follow-up. Gets tackled, gets it to Monks. His kick smothered. But once again, North Hobart working hard to get it forward. And they've got it now to 70 out from goal.
They've lifted, haven't they, Dave?
Left half forward, they have indeed. 51 points the margin. by no means back in the contest, of course, but I'm certainly giving their supporters who've made the big trip something to cheer about in this quarter. McGuinness, little tap back towards White. Releases to Sandrick, gets out of trouble, gets a kick away to half forward. Gee, that was strong by Mitch Nicholas up against Hilda. He wins the one-on-one. And a beautiful kick to Roney at half-back.
Roney, nice left foot out into the wing. Plenty of space in the direction of, I think that's Manshandon. Nice kick from Manshandon in the direction of Young. Seen a bit more of Connor Young forward this year, as Dave said earlier in the call. Made his name as a bit of a defender in this league before he went off and did other things. But see a bit more of him forward, and he likes his chances. He's going to hit this one from outside 50. I'm not sure if he's got the journey, but we'll soon see. He moves in. It's going to be short. Big pack forms, off hands, and out of bounds in the forward pocket. Dave Moore.
Just to Dave Gruber's stats, North Hobart have only had the 6 inside 50s this quarter, but they've kicked the 4 goals. So
Pretty
good efficiency there.
Pretty good efficiency. Boundary throw in. Northern Bombers into the ground. And that last forward entry from Young. Ruckman go up. Cox-Goodyear this time in the ruck. He's done it all today, and umpire will ball that on up again, Dave Moore.
On the flip side of that, Rob, is that North Lonnie have had 10 inside 50s for the 2 goals.
Yeah.
So it's been a little bit wasteful there.
It's a contrast.
Good defence there for North Hobart. Up it goes. Monks against Ives. Ives wins the tap. Oh, that was Pearce taking the ball. Snaps on goal. Always to the right, though. One behind. 12-13, 85 the Bombers. Leading North Hobart 5-3-33. Short kick out from Norton. Finds Harrison McLeod. Back to Norton by hand. They're going to work it out of defence here quite well. Ends up here with Lachlan Payne, who's been pretty quiet today. Haven't called him much. Payne's the call. Goes short to McLeod. Is at 15. Has to play on now anyway. On his right foot. Kicks towards half forward. Finlay Poke, the boy from Burnie. Thumps it away from the contest. He had the front position. Happy to see the boundary line. Over there on the railway wing. And the bright sunshine, which has now emerged. So, ruck contest here. It's the ruckmen are a long way back. They're back in the centre square. Are they going to make it in time? Here they come. Just Lee wins the tap. Shark by Mitch Nicholas nicely. Getting around the contest now. Back to Mitch Nicholas on the left foot. He's pretty deadly there. As he gets to Leary, takes a strong mark. Jumping jack there in front. Too far out to score. Finds Cox-Goodyear, who may be in range here. As the man on the mark, Stevenson, is right on the paint of 50. Has he got the leg for this one?
Around the mark.
He's got Pearce, short option, but he ignores it now. Max has called it. He's going to get that distance, that extra distance on the stand rule. In he comes. Goal number 7, is it? High kick, long kick. Offline this time. 12-14, 86.
North Hobart defended that really well then, because that other guy just stood there.
Yes.
He knew that he was going to run around and put that pressure on. He would have kicked the goal if that second person wasn't there.
Norton kicks it in, taken there by Campbell, moves it on. Back to Norton. Back towards us. Finlay Poke pushes his opponent under it. So it'll be okay though. Simpson. Bombers back to his brother Ben. Chips inside. That's a really, really nice kick. And Leary in the right spot at the right time. And they're usually traits that we associate with that man, Brandon Leary. And he's taken a mark almost directly in front, about 30 metres out from goal. Now, the thing with a guy like Brandon Leary, you know, the trick stuff, the hard stuff, you'd back him in. He missed a much easier shot than this earlier. He's not going to waste any time. He's going to move in. Shot on goal. Kicks it, strikes it well, and he's missed. There you go. I'll put the Mozza on him, fellas, after that. Guys like Leary always make those difficult shots, don't they? And the easy ones, Dave Moore, not so easy.
That's right. 3/4 time at KG5. It's the Blues now 43, letting Glenorchy 33. But Magpie's still in it into the last quarter of play. As it's cleared out of defence now there by Brad Young, but his kick lands in the lap there of Blade Sulzberger. Sideways kick taken by Declan Char. Get a bit of it today. Gets around Leifeber easily to the hot spot. Ives is there. Good defence there by Ferguson. Oh, overrunning it was hasty. Give Leary half a chance. He'll kick a goal, and he does. So they just dwelled upon the ball there to the North Hobart defence. Phil Leary, who quick as a flash, threw it on the boot and kicks his third goal, and Northern Bombers 13th.
Something young Angus Norton not real happy with what's going on down there. Just remonstrating with a couple of the North players. The goal's been kicked, Angus, and I'd encourage you to do what your teammate are telling you to do. Just get out of it.
Yeah.
I think it related back to the mistake they made that let Leary kick that goal. I think there's a bit of chat.
So another goal there to the Northern Bombers. So just to stem the flow a bit, because before that, Max, North Hobart had kicked 4 in a row.
They had, yeah. It was, like I said earlier, a little mini comeback for them. So, they'd be aiming to win the quarter.
Lee and Jackson do battle, as I said. Sounds like a Melbourne hotel. Gone inside 50. Ahern punched away from him. Sorry, it was Young, I should say. North Hobart under a lot of pressure. Bombers crashing in. Pearce, as he's done, umpire said, no, that's mine.
You need the situation where getting Young and Jackson, I think. That's what you need, Rob.
Yeah.
Were you in there last Saturday night?
No, I wasn't. No. Got out of the rain, Dave.
Okay. But we've gone there for a beer afterwards.
Celebrating a Tigers win. Ball bobbling around. Jackson crashes over it. Umpire being asked to adjudicate, and he's taken the neutral option and says, I'm going to ball that one up again directly in front of goal, about 40 metres out.
Bit of experience there from Cox-Goodyear. He's looking for that free kick, high contact.
Yeah,
nearly got it.
He draws a few, doesn't he?
Plucked out of the air by Ives. North Hobart have the numbers and they'll come away with it. Quick kick forward, kick for touch. I think the boundary line. Oh, that's a real Jonathan Thurston special, that one, Dave Moore.
Yeah, Connor Young just copped one in back play there in that marking contest.
Just a poke in the eye, I think, Dave.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Having a bit of a low peep at it through the glasses.
Boundary thrown right in front of us here at UTAS Stadium. We're nice and warm here today. No wind, so that cold breeze sometimes happens through our window. It's not happening. As Avent, look away handball, doesn't find the target in Salisbury. Jack Avent's a little bit disappointed with himself. 26 and a half minutes gone, so not long till three-quarter time. Don't forget sporting action tonight on City Park Radio from 6:15. We've got the Tornadoes versus the Nunawading Spectres from Elfin Sports Centre. From the contest, taken away by Hilda to White. Chain of handballs ends up with Finlay Poke. His handball goes straight to Mitchell for North Launceston. So they've advanced the ball a little bit, the Demons.
Some really good signs, though. I really like how their young players are going about it, North Hobart.
3 goals, 5 North Launceston this quarter to 4 goals, 1. So the Demons winning the quarter. Finlay Poke, handballs now to Lee Febber. 1-on-1 here, McCulloch gets the front position, nearly takes the mark. Well done, Lee Flang. Sharking it, though, pretty well was the play there, I think, in McGuinness. He tried the inside-out kick unsuccessfully. In fact, it was Will Groom.
Should have been hands off Groom to Bingham, who was running, screaming out for the ball. Just a bit of inexperience there.
Anyway, it's a boundary throw-in, deep in attack, 9 seconds of the third quarter. Can the Demons get another one? They've kicked 4 this quarter. Goes back towards the boundary line, and Pearce sees it over. The Demons want insufficient intent, but umpires having none of it. Max thought it could have been a possibility.
They would have paid that against Richmond last Saturday night, I'll give you the tip.
They would have done. Tigers got the bye this week.
Yeah, Tigers, Brisbane next week.
As Lee wins the tap, they might clear it here through Pearce. Picks it up to Roney. Nice handball, got his hands free, got it to Declan Chug. He goes to the wing looking for a runner. Norton will get there first. He taps it over to the advantage of Campbell, who takes the ball, gets out of a tackle. Back to Norton. Well done there to the North Hobart players. Back now to Roney, though, by hand to Bennett. Looking to Roney again. He's on the boundary line. Does well to get around. Lopes away. Handballs over top to Young. Here they go. They've got the numbers here, an attacking 50. There might be Man Shannon getting the ball. It is. Takes a bounce. Goes inside. Doesn't go himself. Kicks to Ahern. Has to play on. And Ahern kicks the goal. Well played by the Bombers from half back. Good work by Max Roney originally there. Couple of involvements. And Man Shannon there unselfish. Sent it to Ahern, who had to play on and kick the goal.
A couple of involvements in that stanza of play from number 23, young Max Roney. And he's been involved a couple of times this quarter as well. Had a really impressive kick off half back earlier on his left, like a 16, 17-year-old, just kicked like a seasoned veteran on that occasion under pressure on his left foot. Premiership St Patrick's boy last week as well.
Son of Nick, who was the Premiership coach.
Oh, don't worry about Nick. We're talking about Max here.
Oh.
I had enough of Nick's last Saturday night after the win.
Okay. Back in the centre is Rob Sauer for City Park Radio Sport.
Back in the square, Demons looking to come away with the dying moments of this quarter. Norton, he's been one of their best today. Chips back towards Leafheber. He's been okay too. Ball, centre circles, back to Leafheber. Last gasp there. Poke, looking for something inside 50. Monks plays on quickly. White runs in and kicks the goal. Probably one of their best passages of play, Maxie Walker, all day there. North Hobart in the shadows of three-quarter time, and nice way for them to finish off the quarter.
It was, Rob, and all through those little chip kicks, like there was just a sense of nervousness from all four of us sitting up here, though, as well, wasn't it? Always had that chance of, going astray, but they managed to keep control of the ball. Even that last handball to White, you're thinking, why have you handballed it to him? You're 30 metres out, and even he was hesitant in kicking the ball, but I guess that comes with a bit of confidence as well. When you're this far down, you're wondering what you need to do.
Stats for Dave Gruber, 8 inside 50s this quarter for 5 goals for North Hobart. So great conversion rate.
And that's a real positive that Bester would take out of it with the boys, wouldn't he, Dave?
That's right. When the game's lost at half-time, you've got to take little wins in the second half. And they've won the third quarter. Well, they might not if North wants to get another goal. To the top from Lee and a mark from Griffiths. And an injury to Cohen Stevenson, who's gone down quite hard in that contest. So Alex Lee let the barrel go from the centre circles. We love to see that. And then a strong mark to Griffiths.
70s footy almost, that one.
Good news for Demons fans. Cohen Stevenson's up and about. He fell heavily after that contest. So Harvey Griffiths kicked one earlier this quarter. Has kicked 2 in the third quarter now as Harvey Griffiths, as they kick their 15th. 15-15, 105. Lead North Hobart 6-3-39. So 5 goals, 5 in that quarter to North Launceston. And 5 goals, 1 to North Hobart. So they didn't quite win the quarter, but they got some respectability back. 10-goal quarter, pretty entertaining stuff, Max Walker.
Yeah, it certainly was, Dave, and very entertaining for our North Hobart viewers. Just giving a glimpse of what this young group is capable of doing, and some really polished finishes. Some strong marks deep in the forward line to resulting in a couple of goals. They had some run and carry and a bit of overlap, and which caught a few of the North Launceston defenders out. And then, the other side of the story was the way that North Launceston have been delivering the ball into the forward line. Hitting a target on most occasions. We've seen some unselfishness stuff from Will Manshandon in, I think, the last goal that North kicked, or before Harvey Griffiths' goal then, where he could have kept running but kicked it off to, who was it? It was O'Hearn, but only went like 5 metres, so it was play on. So O'Hearn had the opportunity to get involved and get on the scoreboard as well. So, probably the best quarter of footy for the day so far, guys.
Rob, you got the goal kickers?
Yeah, I have. So for North Launceston, we've got Cox-Goodyear with 6, 3 to Leary, and 2 each to Mansell and Harvey Griffiths, and singles to Will Manshandon and Jack Ahern. And for North Hobart, Josh Bingham with 2, and singles to Jack McCulloch, Tyler McGuinness, Dominic White and David Monks. And I was just going to say, Dave, that one of the great things I love about a coach like Adam Bester, he's a person who's been well coached himself. He was part of that great run of, I think, 5 consecutive Burnie premiership sides back in the NTFL days. He had guys like Mick McGuan coach him. I think Nick Probert was one of his coaches. So certainly a real student of the game, and he's exactly what this young group need. And as Max and you both noted before the game, if you rewound the tape a couple of years ago, you could say North Hobart was where the Northern Bombers were back then, with those young guys learning the game, starting out. They'd be really pleased with that quarter.
Absolutely. Rob Sauer for City Park Radio Sport. As we look at the Dave Gruber's half or three-quarter time stats, hit outs 53-16 the Bombers' way, 20-3 that quarter. So Alex Lee, he's looking good for the Alistair Lynch medal this year, I'd say, is one of the favourites there. clearances. North Launceston 29 to North Hobart 22, 12 to 5 in that quarter. Inside 50s, 16 to 8 in that quarter, but they kicked 5 goals each, so they did waste some opportunities in that quarter, the Northern Bombers. Marks inside 50, 6 apiece in that quarter, so North Hobart only had 1 mark inside 50 to half-time, Max, and had 6 in that quarter. So obviously the delivery and the mix-up there was a bit better.
Yep, and that just comes back to, growing with a bit of confidence as well. You get 1 or 2 in there, and then all of a sudden becomes 3 or 4 marks. And it helps as well when they finish off goals from those marks. Also, it can be a bit demoralising for the players behind the ball. If they're getting it into the forward line, but your forwards are failing to clunk it. So the delivery was a little bit better as well for North Hobart. So good result for them.
Free kicks, 14 to North Hobart, 11 to North Launceston. Intercept marks, 17 to the Bombers, 8 to the Demons. Well, we better take a break here at three-quarter time. At three-quarter time, it's 15-15, 105 the Bombers. The Demons, 6-3, 39.
Want to learn to play music? Playing music is so much fun and has all kinds of cognitive and social benefits. Barrett's Music can help you get there. They can help select the best instrument for you, choose appropriate learning books and find a teacher. Plus, they offer flexible, interest-free payment plans. If you pick an instrument that you really like, find a teacher and put time aside each week to practice. Then you can play music. Get started now with Barrett's Music, 104 George Street, Launceston, a sponsor of City Park Radio.
We know how busy you are in the community. It's meant sometimes you miss out on us, your community radio station. Now you don't have to. With Community Radio Plus, catch the latest news updates, listen to podcasts, join us live with the Community Radio Plus app.
Community radio is listener-supported radio. We're City Park Radio.
Whatever you're doing, take us with you. Community Radio Plus, your home of community radio. Download from the App Store or Google Play.
Play your cards right this winter with new LPG deals from Elgas. Whether you're moving in or you're settled in, make the switch online today. From LPG account credits, fixed pricing and carbon offset options, Elgas has got you covered. Don't lose out this winter. Visit the website, choose your new deal and sign up today. Go online, www.elgas.com.au. Elgas, local, safe and reliable.
A sponsor of City Park Radio. You're listening to great TSL action, Tasmanian State League football on City Park Radio.
Gee, it's getting pretty exciting down there at KG5. I just checked the stream there, and it's only 3 points. The lead now to Launceston over Glenorchy. So it's going to go right down to the wire. But comfortable margin here to the Northern Bombers. They lead at three-quarter time by 66 points. So coming into the last quarter, Rob, what do you think Adam Bester would be out there now saying to his players?
I reckon.
Sorry, mate, got John, yep.
That's okay. I reckon he'll want more of the same from that third quarter. And, it's about that learning and teaching. You just want to get better all the time. So he would have been delighted with that third quarter, I reckon.
Well, let's see what you, if you're right there, Rob, as Chris Sayer has been listening to Adam Bester. Chris, what do you got?
Yeah, he was quite happy with that quarter. Lots of movements on the players' board, almost like putting a jigsaw puzzle together. They're maintaining Stevenson on Cox-Goodyear and Hasty on Leary, so they're not changing there. Open the game up, take more risks, and it's going to see how this last quarter goes. Here's Tony.
Right, over in the North camp, they really want to play the last quarter a bit like North did in that quarter. They said that North Hobart played the game like they're only about 2 or 3 goals down. They want that intensity back. They want to get the overlap going again because that was missing in that quarter. The mids in the defender didn't really have the same intensity as the first half. Brad wants them to be more ruthless with it. He's not happy with the fact that they conceded 5 goals there. And he's saying this is the sort of side that we should be burying. We've just got to get back to what we were doing in the first half. Not happy at all with that third quarter.
Yes, he sets high standards, Brad Cox-Goodyear, and yes, he'll be wanting to finish off the game in style. Last quarter action, here's Rob Sauer for City Park Radio Sport.
Monks and Lee. Lee been terrific all day. First hands on to Simpson. Coming away with it, there's Leary driving it inside 50. Chopped off beautifully there across the fullback line by Cohen Stevenson, who's got that match up, as we've said, on Brad Cox-Goodyear. Nice little chip kick. McGuinness chops it out. Moves it forward. Norton on the wing. Patient build up. Next kick will be the key. That's a really nice mark taken there. Harrison McLeod moves it quickly in the direction of White. Kicked a good goal before. He's got a player all alone, and that's that player in Will Groom, who we talked about earlier. Hutchins captain last weekend in that epic grand final called by our very own Dave Moore. Extra time, St Pat's get it done again.
He spoke very well after the game too, young Will. It was a real credit to his school in his speech there in concession.
Fine young player. Was a bit wasteful from an earlier opportunity, but this would be just the start that North Hobart and Adam Bester would want. Moves in, about 40 metres out on a bit of an angle. Pushed it, it's going to swing back. Swings inside the goal post. What a great strike from Will Groom, and that takes North Hobart on to 7-3-45. Bombers 15-15, 105. So listening to those coaches' remarks, that's exactly what Adam Bester would have wanted Maxie Walker.
Yeah, it is, Rob, and just the build-up again was impressive. They didn't toy around with it, but they just bided their time, didn't they? They knew which target to hit, brought it from one side of the ground to the other. That last kick to Groom from Don White had a fair bit of hang time on it, so he's probably lucky that there wasn't too many North Launceston players near him. They could have easily spoiled it, but
it was one of those ones you're standing under and thinking, what's about to happen here?
He was very grateful that he marked it and didn't hear the footsteps coming, I reckon.
Back in the middle of UTAS Stadium, and Lee wins the tap out convincingly to Sulzberg, who can't quite get the handle. McLeod working there. Nice handball back to Norton. And we've got a free kick coming back to Harrison McLeod, brother of George, who's also played with North Hobart. The play on now to Norton. Back to Wright. He gets a little kick away. He might have got a push in the back. He has. Wow. Sure about that one, but he's got the free kick against Brandon Leary. On the front edge of the centre square.
Looked like a good chase down tackle to me, but anyway.
I thought he got his kick away.
Sam Wright plays on, low kick. And so Sulzberger drops the mark he should have taken. Release to Lee. Has a presence of mind just to clear the area. But they built the wall there, North Hobart. And Angus Norton takes the mark. Right foot kick smothered by Simpson. Chance for a turnover here. Although in the way is Matt Campbell. Back to Young. Young spins around. Long kick over here and finds White on the wing.
He's been busier in the second part of this game, White.
Former GYC boy.
Nice long kick inside 50, giving his forwards a look at it. Bennett's in a perfect spot there to effect the spoil, which he does. Bombers steady. Boundary, oh, geez, I thought that was Sulzberger. I think that was the boundary line was his friend. North reset, North Hobart that is reset. Looking for some opportunity, little chip kick forward there. That one's going to be okay. Bingham to McGuinness. McGuinness goes back into the middle, not his best. Leafheber butters up, gets his hand on it, goes the fence, could have been holding the ball. No, bounces and bobbles inside 50. Bombers just steady as they've done all day. Just settle down, get a look at it, get it out. Sam Simpson moves it on. Taken there by Declan Chugg. Kicks up to a contest, Cox-Goodyear, as he's done all day. What a look at wrestle. Cox-Goodyear's asking the question. The umpire says, no, I'm going to throw that one in. So that was a really good contest there with Cohen Stevenson.
Yeah, Stevenson's been pretty good, I reckon, since he's gone on to Cox-Goodyear.
Yeah, he's a nice matchup in that he's a taller, I say more athletic. Cox-Goodyear's a terrific athlete, but just that bit taller and those long arms.
I think Cox-Goodyear is in the state side. I'm pretty sure he's in that squad. So for next Saturday, I stand corrected. Someone text me if I'm wrong. As here's Harrison McLeod now to White. He's under pressure, back to Leafheber. North not letting North Hobart escape as he gets it now to Monks. Took a fine mark and goal earlier in the third quarter. Stevenson now up here looking for McCulloch, who presents. Takes a strong mark up against Leaflang. He's got Leafheber on a sideways kick, but he now goes to Harrison McLeod. He's had a bit of it in this last quarter. He dashes off. McLeod inside 50. Jackson's the target. Clears him. Harvey Griffiths does pretty well. Little tap away. Hilda. Now to Jackson. The big fella snaps a goal. Oh, that's a great goal, Nick Jackson. Reward for a fine game this afternoon here at UTAS Stadium. And that was great athleticism from a big fella, Max Walker.
You don't see it very often, playing around with it on the bottom of the pack, and managed to find his feet and kicked it stumbling backwards with a bit of pressure around him. It was a fine goal, David. Good finish. And again, the build-up to it by North Hobart. Another another deep inside entry to inside the 50. They'd be in front.
5-1, Max.
Yep, in this quarter again. So they've started, the third and this quarter very, very well. But it's being able to maintain that, the carry of the ball and the intensity around it. Interesting aspect from the first centre bounce of this quarter. He's gone out of it now, but Leary had a bit of a run in the middle, and Jackie Avent was on the bench, but I noticed that Avent's back in there now.
Umpires found something here.
Launceston still lead by 3 points at KG5 with a shot to come on goal.
6-6-6 free kick maybe. And Monks gives it off to White. It's going to bounce just outside 50 in the direction there of Cleaver. Haven't called him a lot today. Handball's back inside to Leafheber. McGuinness. Oh, beautiful ball. Dummies round 2 Bombers. Long kick towards goal in the direction of the ruckman. Jackson drops it. Umpires found a free kick. Oh, real nice rally there for North Hobart. Dave.
Yeah, just a goal to Isaac Hyde there, which puts Launceston out now by 9 points with about 10 minutes to play.
Jackson's going to go back for his second goal in a couple of minutes. Different type of one, this one. Beautifully called before. Crumbed it off the contest. This one, a chop on the arms. Jackson moves in. Shouldn't miss from there and doesn't. Straight over the goal umpire's hat. Moves North Hobart on to 9-3-57. Trailing the Bombers 15-15-105. But interestingly, since half-time, 8 goals to 5 North Hobart's way. Max Walker.
Yeah, and a couple of really good goals. One pressure act goal there from who was it? Nick Jackson a couple of minutes ago, and then a really strong grab in that one. So they've certainly, the second half's been entertaining. The score's been done and dusted and was beyond doubt at quarter time, I think. But the second half of footy so far has been entertaining.
Yes, so North Hobart 3 goals to zip in this last quarter. Lee just takes it out of the ruck, taking charge of this contest. Gets it towards half forward. Well done, McGuinness. Smart play by Hasty, is it? No, it's a throw. He did the little volleyball set. You get your 2 hands and you set it up for the spiker. But it was deemed a throw.
Leary wanted to claim that kick. He was about 20 metres away from it at the time, thinking, I know I can kick the goal from there. Give it to me.
Nathan Pearce to the pocket, looking for Brad Cox-Goodyear. Just the kick is a little bit wide. So it's out of bounds, just 30 metres around from the goal.
Just lets him down, that quality of the kick for Nathan Pearce, doesn't it? You'll never question his intensity at the ball and in and under, but just that 1% polish he lacks.
Margin 48 points as Ives gets it away. Kick by Wright out of mid-air. Might work out a right here to McCulloch. Good tackle laid in on by Lee. She's working hard in there. I think it was McLeod. That was Bingham. Now to Sandrick, handball backwards. Monks gets it now to McCulloch, centre wing. So open forward line, Jackson one out with Bennett. If he gets it there quickly, he's waited too long, I think. He's going to have to kick it 80 metres now to get it to him. Coming in from the side there, gee, that's a good mark to Dom White. As Rob said, he's had a good second half of this game. Kick, just hangs it a bit high there for Ferguson. Couldn't quite take the mark. Nicholas now, always tackled by Leafheber. Back to White again, gets free, kicks it to the hot spot. A lot of North Launceston players there. Gee, almost a free kick there to Kerr. Jackson for 3 in the corner. Oh. He hits the post. Hits the post, the big fella. Kicked it out of mid-air. And they move along to 9-5-59. Trailing the Bombers 15-15-105. And playing 10 minutes into this quarter.
Fletcher Bennett going to bring it back in for the Bombers. We talked about the disparity in intercept marks, and he's a big part of that. Big part of his game in the direction of Lee. Could have got a free kick. Back to Lee. Towards the wing. White's there. Leary's there. Takes the ball. Escorts it over in almost the true wing position. Dave Moore.
Goal to Glenorchy. They trail by 3 points at the 23-minute mark, but it's deep in the Blues attack.
Would it be fair to say that would be the biggest upset in TSL history in the last couple of years?
I'd go there, absolutely. After we saw Launceston demoralise Glenorchy a few weeks ago at Windsor Park, it certainly would be.
Lee, big tap. Boundary line wins again. I really like that move of Monks onto Lee. I mean, Lee's just a dominant ruckman, and you know that that's going to happen no matter who's on him out of the side. But it also frees Jackson up, and we've seen just kicked 2 and could have had a third. And took a heap of marks at the defensive end as well. Lee and Monks again. Lee, first hands on. Umpire's going to ball that one up again.
Lights are on, Rob. It's getting a bit gloomy here.
It is the clouds. There's a bit of clouds coming in. I do think you'd know, Dave, a bit of rain on the way. That's it.
After dark, I reckon.
Good thing. Get through this game.
Up it goes. Lee with the tap out. Just a bit of negative play here. It's been a pretty free-flowing game, especially in the second half. It's been a dour struggle in the second quarter. But, 24 goals kicked over the game. Too bad in the modern game. Lee front position. Taps it Aven, who's tackled straight away. North Hobart player tries to emerge. Monks gets a kick away from the contest. Ball in dispute. Josh Bingham dives on top. Can't release. Ball up. Dave Gruber's stats. So inside 57-2 this quarter, the Demons' way. Clearances 4-2 the Demons' way. They're still dominating the hit-outs as Alex Lee wins another. Thrown out of the contest by Sandrick. Now it's into space. Sam Simpson's got it. Oh, he's tackled by McGuinness. And the umpire says no prior. Strong tackle, Tyler McGuinness. Has been a pretty good player today for the Deeds. Jackson up against Lee. Lee wins it to space. Lee Febber, but Roney does better. Roney now looks for support. Telegraphs a handball sideways to Oscar Mansell. Kicks under pressure. That might sail out of bounds on the full. Umpire says yes. Good pressure there on Roney. Forced the handball to the side. Oh, Wright's kick. White's kick there was a poor one. Eventually, though, it's picked up there by Roney. Handball sideways. Leary has to retreat. Gets himself in trouble. Backwards now to Oscar Mansell. His kick's a bit aimless and it's marked at half back by the D's.
Looks like Campbell, he's had a good game for them. He's gone back towards the middle. Jackson butters up. He's got bombers all around him. Umpire says that's my no prior opportunity, which is the right call in that situation. Jackson, if that ball had hit the target, they were away, North Hobart, but not quite getting there. Jackson looks like he's copped a bit of a knock. He stayed down. I think he's okay, might be winded. Just got collapsed on there by the Bomber player. The Bombers had the numbers around that contest, so trainer just coming out to have a look. He's got up, he's okay.
Still 3 points of difference at KG5. Not long left.
Be a long bus trip back if they go down, Dave, the Launceston Blues,
Absolutely.
I reckon. Ruckman do battle, Lee and Monks. Pearce in there. Lee feeds it out. Chug, Declan Chug. Drives it long out in the direction of Ives. Leaf Heber goes over his head. Beautiful spin out of the pack there. I think that was Man Shandon. Inside the Bombers 50. Ives loses his feet. Picked up beautifully there. Cox-Goodyear heads towards goal. But unfortunately the radar's off track and instead of goal number 7, he's put that one through for a behind.
It's their first score of the quarter, Rob, and we've been playing 14 minutes, so 15-16 to 9-4. Little kick out of defence. Oh, did he play on there? Campbell, I think he has. And he's corralled out of bounds. There's a bit of afters there. Didn't have quite the awareness there. He thought he could just play on, but confronted. I think it might have been Brad Young there in the back pocket. Ian Campbell, 28 and 26, look a bit alike on occasions. All over, the Blues have won by 3 points at KG5. So close one there as Jackson kicks the ball out of bounds on the full.
I was just thinking about sitting next to Mitch Thorpe on the bus trip home if they'd have lost.
And look, credit to Josh Arnold there. Look, he's doing wonders there at Glenorchy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You talk about the bus trip home. I reckon no one would be sitting next to Mitch Thorpe because he'd be the only one on the bus.
Sam Simpson kicks it to the goal square. Front position, no mark at the back to Griffiths. Now the North Hobart player is clapping his hands together saying, I've got a figure on that.
Harvey's claimed that. I must admit I was with the North Hobart player, Foz. I thought there was a hand on that.
Matthew Campbell, I can see through the binoculars, he's got a wry smile on his face. But it should be the third goal to Harvey Griffiths. And gee, it was close, but he snuck it in. Harvey Griffiths for goal number 3. In fact, that's his second, is it? Third. That is his third. I missed one there. So that's his third goal. And he's sort of player, Max, that doesn't need many opportunities, but he really makes the most of them when he gets a chance to get a goal inside 50.
Yeah, it's really interesting. A guy like Harvey Griffiths, he's been at North now probably third year, came over from Launceston. To be honest, probably didn't look like it in the senior game at North Launceston. Was a good, handy development league player. Just needed a different environment to flourish, and here he is.
He does the job, doesn't he? And I really like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Margin 54 points. Today's broadcast brought to you by Elgas for all your LPG needs statewide. Talk to the locals with knowledge. Phone 13 11 61. Rob Soward.
Jackson back into the ruck, although the Bombers win it away. Pearce drives it forward inside 50. Sits for Young. Quick hands off there. Oh, thought they could have been holding the ball. McGuinness comes away. Jackson. Campbell. Back towards the half forward flank. Tidied up by North Hobart. Doesn't sit. Good work there from Griffiths again. Nice clever little kick inside. Doesn't sit for the Bombers player. And taken away. Oh, Jackson courage. Umpire calls play on. Thought he might have got a free kick. That's okay. Steadied. Sandrick back towards the middle of the ground. North Hobart looking to set up an opportunity. Jackson down in back play. Leaf Lang was appealing for being held, and he's taken that one over the boundary line. Going to be a boundary throw for North Hobart, Dave Moore.
I've neglected the other game today. It's Kingborough 13-7-85, leading Clarence 5-5-35. So that's in the third quarter there. So Tigers bouncing back to form this afternoon.
Pod throws it in. 17-minute mark of the last quarter. Lee takes it out of the air. Salisbury comes away with it. Could have been holding the ball there against Chuck. I think it might have been. Umpire agrees with me. I'm on fire with my umpiring today. 2 for 2. Great tackle there from Josh Cleaver. Gives him an inside 50. That's not his best work, and he's picked out Blade Sulzberger. Very good player in that half-back line for the Northern Bombers. Looking for his options. He's just going to go long down the line. Heading in the direction of Ives. Young taps it on. McGuinness takes it away. Back to Jackson. Nice little chip inside 50. Steady though by the Bombers. Nice and steady. Taken there by Lockie Mitchell. Moves it on. Out in the direction there of Max Rainey. He's been good today. Nice mark taken there on the wing. Declan Chugg. Gives it off by hand. Move forward. It's going to be okay. Quick kick forward there. Shot on goal. Taken there by the Bombers player. Didn't quite catch the number.
Jacob Kerr.
Nathan Pearce ruining where that goal post was. Point post, I should say. He liked the look of that one. Deep in the forward pocket, but through for a behind.
Angus Norton now. Little kick. Looking for Cleaver. Has he marked that? He has. Josh Cleaver. Deep in defence still.
Got a bit of it this quarter, Josh Cleaver, after a relatively quiet 3 quarters, and as soon as we say he gets a bit of it, he's found
it out of bounds on the full.
Found the guys in the crowd.
It wasn't his best, was it?
Manchandon, 60 out, right on the boundary line. Crowded forward line ahead. Wheels around, takes a bounce, gets to 45, gets on his left side, right foot shot for goal. Will Manchandon. And that would have been one of the goals of the year if he'd have kicked that one from where he was.
No left leg, I'd say, either.
No, 16, 18, 114 to 9, 458. They say it doesn't matter anymore as it's kicked out of Sam Wright. Wright looks for options. Goes short to Norton, who's had a lot of possessions today. One of the Demons' best.
If not.
Now towards Stevenson, who's also done a pretty good job. To Wright. Jeez, kicks high. Gives Hilda a bit of a task. Oh, he nearly answers the task there. Should have marked it in the end, because Lee didn't go for it. Mitch Nicholas now sweeping at half back. Handball to Mitchell. Low kick to the wing to Pearce. He's got a player on in Manchandon. He goes further and finds Young. And he gets a free kick anyway down the ground. Josh Hilda cannon into him. It's a kick to Young either way, mark or free kick downfield. Connor Young, 2 kicks out from goal. spots up an opposition player in Sam Wright. So Sam Wright, a bit of the ball this corner, up here towards Hilda, takes the mark in front of Lee. Oh, he goes to play on Lee. He's got him by the jumper, and just somehow he held on with strength, holding the ball. Now he kicks inside 50, and Norton can't quite take it. Ahern, hampered by injury today, gets out. Snatch for his second. Will it come back? Will it come back? It will. It's a great goal. Great goal there to Jack Ahern. Umpire's got to give the all clear. And it's a goal. That's a fantastic snap there from Ahern. As we said, even coming off now limping, he's been hampered by an injury, but he still managed to kick a couple of snags. And the Bombers kick a couple in a row, 17-18, 120, North Hobart 9-4-58.
Doesn't matter how injured you are, David, when you're near the goals and you've got a chance to kick it, you're always going to.
That's right.
You're always going to feel a little bit better in those occasions.
Yeah. Just one thing I'll highlight too, while we're waiting for the ball to come back to the middle. One thing I think is terrific on the scoreboard today is North Launceston honouring their 200 game players, which they've been doing all year. Gee, they do that well. I mean, it's a proud club with a great history, and I keep looking at those names that flash up. It's terrific for footy.
Rob, keep on going, mate.
Okay, Alex Lee, as he's done most of the day, first hand on, umpire's found a free kick, and he's found the Sulzberger's been held. He's going to drive it deep inside 50 in the Cox-Goodyear direction, got rid of his opponent, and the umpire says he's given a free kick to the opponent. Yeah, he's done a good job back there, as we've said, Cohen Stevenson. Kick's not the best though. He's found Nathan Pearce, bobbling around, back to Lee, drives it inside 50, clever in the direction of Griffiths, goes over his head, quick kick forward there from North Hobart. I reckon the Bombers have set up a wall, which they sort of had, dropped the mark they should have taken. Leafheber comes away with it for North Hobart. That's going to be okay. Move back towards the middle. Now it's opening up for him inside 50. All Bombers though. It's a nice mark taken there by Mitch Nicholas, who also looks like Leaflang, but it was indeed Mitch Nicholas. Good punch there. Good physical contest here for the ball. Umpire's found a free kick, and I reckon that one's going to go against Matthew Campbell.
I think he might be getting it.
No, he's getting a free kick. I thought he infringed there on Jack Avent earlier, but the umpire said no. Terrible kick. Picked up there by Nicholas, ridden into the ground, holding the ball. No pushing the back anymore, unfortunately, in football. That's a nice long kick. North Hobart, cleared up by Lee. Back towards Manshandon. Bobs around. Nice kick forward there by Bales. Boundary line's going to be the winner, I think. No, it's okay. Taken by Ives. Right on the chalk.
Ives on centre wing. Looks inside. About 5 minutes to play here at UTAS Stadium. He plays on. Under pressure. Good tackle, Leafheber. But he finds a target at half forward in Leary. Plays on straight away. Looking for Cox-Goodyear. Runs back with a flight. Nearly takes it. One behind. We've got an injury report. A fairly significant one. So we'll get down to Tony Webb for a report on Ben Simpson.
Yeah, he came to the bench a few minutes ago. He's taken the right boot off and the ankle's been iced at the moment, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
Okay, so injury there to Ben Simpson. I didn't see it in general play, so not be too bad. Just a precautionary thing at this late stage.
Could have a big game next week, Ben Simpson, so he wants to be right.
Absolutely. Yes, in the state squad. Sideways kick here, looking for Campbell. Oh, a player met heavily there. High contact against Campbell. Just wait for the player to get up there.
Manson, I think it is.
Number 18.
Just a little careless, I thought, in his attack on that one. He's just checking to make sure he's all right.
It is indeed Oscar Mansell. Kicked an absolute beauty in the first quarter. Squares it up. Finds Pearce. 40 out. Slight angle. Yes, he kicked a lovely banana goal first quarter. When the Bombers were just on a rampage. 8 goals in quarter number 1. They kicked 8 in the first. 2 in the second. 5 in the third. They kicked 2 in this quarter. From Nathan Pearce. We're trying to make it a third goal for this last quarter. Inside 50s for Dave Gruber. 11 to North Hobart, 10 to North Launceston this last quarter. Nathan Pearce gets the goal, sneaks inside. No, it doesn't. It's the post. So behind there to the Bombers. They had 8-2 at quarter time. And since then, they've kicked 9 goals, 18. So they're 17-21-22. North Hobart 9-4-58.
Yeah, bad kicking. They wouldn't be happy with that. North Hobart looking to see if they can pinch one late here. Nice tackle there. Umpire's going to ball that one up. 25.5 minutes gone in the last quarter. Bombers 17-21-22. North Hobart 9-4-58. Do battle Lee. He's been terrific all day. So important. Probably even go as far to say as their most important player in the scheme of things. Just a dominant ruckman. We'll have a replay of that. Ruckman do battle again. Jackson this time with him. Lee, nice tap out there. Kick forward quickly from Avent. And he's found, I think that's Man Shandon, is it? Almost as far away as possible from where we are. Man Shandon finds Pierce, back to Pierce, is it?
Yes, Rob, yep.
The old eyesight struggling to pick him up against that that backdrop, but loves a goal. The Hillwood Sharks forward, now applying his trade very successfully here with the Northern Bombers. He's just terrific. His hardness around the footy, cleverness around goals. Not going to be an easy shot for him though. He's not a long way out, but not too far in from the boundary line. So we'll see what Nathan Pearce has got up his sleeve. We just tick over to the 27-minute mark. He struck that one well. It's gone across the face. But the boundary line would win out. Scored it over there by the North Hobart defender who holds it up for everyone to see. Matthew Campbell.
Hasn't been the worst today. Look, he's had a couple of clangers here and there, but he's a 100% player.
Yeah.
He's good value back there. He's got a bit of experience now under his belt as Lee wins the tap out. It's going to be congested there, about 20 out from North Launceston goal. So City Park Radio Sport this evening at Elfin Sports Centre, 6:15. Tornadoes versus Nuttawading, and then next Saturday, 2 o'clock from North Hobart for the Tassie versus Queensland men's state game. So it's kicked out for a goal there by Lee. One behind, 17-21, 123 to 9-4-58. Angus Norton goes short. 28 minutes gone. Close to siren time. Colin Stevenson's got it. And really well against Brad Cox-Goodyear after Cox-Goodyear started with 4 goals in the first quarter. And the siren sounds to finish the game here at UTAS Stadium. And North Launceston 17-21, 123. Have defeated North Hobart 9 goals for 58. So the boys will be out there in a moment to try and get an interview as the D-League players run on the ground. So take on North Hobart in the game following. Max, your first thoughts and maybe some goal kickers there.
Yeah, look, I'll give the goal kickers first, Dave. Cox-Goodyear finished up with 6 for the day, so really, really handy return there. Brandon Leary 3. We had Harvey Griffiths pop up in the second half with 3. Jack Ahern kicked 2, hobbling around on 1 foot. Oscar Mansell kicked his 2, and Will Manshandon snavelled 1 for the day. That's 6, 9, 10, 13, 15, 17, which is what we're after. And the only couple of multiple scorers for North Hobart, 2 to Josh Bingham, 2 to Nick Jackson, all in the last quarter, and singles to Jack McCulloch, Tyler McGuinness, Will Groom, Dominic White, and David Monks.
Okay, we've got Tony there heading out to try and grab an interview.
Yep, just a very quick summary from my end. Game was done quarter time. Great first quarter, 8 goals to 0 by North Launceston, so the game was well and truly beyond the reach, I think, of North Hobart after that first 30 minutes of play. Second half of the game, I thought was a really even contest. We had, 7 goals to 8. So whilst North Hobart didn't quite win the half, it was a very competitive half.
Okay, we've got Brad Cox-Goodyear now with Tony Webb.
Here we have. Thanks for joining us, Brad. What a game of 2 halves, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit disappointed that second half. North Hobart changed a few things up and we just weren't able to adapt, and they put the score on the board, which is unfortunate. I mewe were still scoring, but we just weren't able to stop them, so defence was a little bit off. So while we're taking the win, obviously we still won the game pretty easily, but if we're going to be there at the pointy end of the year, we've got to play full quarters, and we didn't today.
Yeah, like in the third quarter, I think he just snuck in, winning the quarter of the half, he kicking that goal after the siren, and he was only about a goal in this way. But as you said, they really applied your sort of style of play in the third quarter.
Yeah, no, they played a great brand of footy. They ran, they carried the ball, they handballed forward, and they really challenged us defensively. We weren't quite able to go with them, which was a bit disappointing. So there'll be some good edits there. But boys have earned a break now. They've been playing some good footy lately, and they'll have the week off and refresh and come back ready for Glenorchy.
Yeah, now just talking about your own particular game. 4 goals first quarter. Saw your quarter time. It's a beautiful sunny June day.
Yeah, no, it was actually a beautiful day. I think it was supposed to rain, but it turned out being all right. Nah, as I said, I'm happy to play my role. I'm obviously getting a bit older now, and the guys are doing a great job on ball, so it allows me to play forward. And once again, I've got to the end of their good work.
You did, yeah, and there was a lot of good work there. Have you got a game next week by any chance?
It's that game next week.
Yeah. Are you in it?
I think so.
Good luck with it. Thanks for joining us, Jay.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks to Tony. Now, I think Chris had a word there to Adam Bester post-game.
Yes, I did, and he was very positive about that second half. You know, he talks about his plays like young Will Groom. You know, he's very confident about his young players coming through. He doesn't want a game like today to discourage his young players from playing their best footy. So he's very upbeat about it. You know, unhappy with the loss in the first half, but very happy with the second half.
Thanks, boys, down there on the boundary. And, of course, Chris, you'll be with us at the state game next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a big day, isn't it?
Absolutely, down there in the hallowed turf of North Hobart Oval.
Yeah, and lovely seeing the Tassie Guernsey out in the ground too.
Yeah, can't wait for the map to appear. Thanks, boys. We'll talk to you next time. And, Max, sorry, interrupted your flow there. Just talking about North Hobart's good second half. And North Launceston really set it up in that first half, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, Dave. Like we said, the game was well and truly beyond North Hobart's reams at half-time. But to the credit, like we said, and Adam Bester's acknowledged it as well, it was a good second half by them. They've got some really good talent there that they can work with. They've got North Hobart have had a huge turnover of players the last 3 or 4 years. Every year they seem to... We'll sit back and watch them for a couple of games a year and up here and go, wow, they've got some good young players, but they just don't seem to be able to capture their talent for more than 1 or 2 years at the moment, which would be, a goal for their committee and coaching guys to just try and get a group together and get a bit of momentum, over a 3, 4, 5 year period to build to being a good competitive side, to become a final side, and then become a contender. So fingers crossed they can do that. They've got a good nucleus there. Not quite sure how their D League's going, but certainly
pretty
got
well.
Good. Yep, certainly got a good mix of what we saw there today to carry on and be a bit more competitive as the years go on.
So while you think about your 3-2-1 there, Max, I'll do Gruber's stats. Thanks to Dave Gruber. Done a great job today. Hit-outs today. Alex Lee, another outstanding game. 69 hit-outs to 19 over the day. 16-3 in the last quarter. Clearances, Northern Bombers 36 to North Hobart 26. 7-4 the Bombers won that last quarter. Inside 50s, it was 11 apiece. In the last quarter, 58-32 over the day, but North Hobart definitely matched them with those inside 50s in the last half. Marks inside 50, 20 to North Launceston to 9, and 4-2 in the last quarter. Free kicks, 23 North Hobart, 17 North Launceston. Intercept marks, 19 to the Bombers, 11 to the Demons. Thanks to Dave Gruber there on stats. He'll be with us down at North Hobart next week. So for his better players and 3-2-1, Max Walker.
I was going to leave that to the guy in Washington, D.C.
Oh, he's been tuning in.
Yeah, he's gone to bed now. He
he
gave us a little message earlier. It was 9 time for him, 1:30 over there. For North Hobart today, I thought Jack McCulloch ended up with 1 goal, tried all day. Certainly wasn't one of his better games, but presented when he had the opportunity to. I thought Josh Bingham, reasonably consistent, certainly in the first half. Cohen Stevenson, flashes of the brilliance that he can provide. Nick Johnson started the game in that first 10 or 15 minutes. Nick Jackson started the game off like a house on fire the first 10 or 15 minutes. Went forward in the last half, like the boys on the boundary said, they mixed it up a little bit and finished with a couple of goals. So he was one of the better performances. Josh Hilder in the second half. David Monks tried hard all day and probably thought Angus Norton was their best for the day for a 4-quarter contributor. For North Launceston, Cox-Goodyear normal game by him, by his high standards. Ben Simpson played well. Thought Nathan Pearce certainly in the first half did really well. Lockie Mitchell, I was impressed with him. He just gets better every game. You watch him. Fletcher Bennett, spoke about him as well. Didn't get a lot of the ball, but just directs the traffic really well from back there. Puts himself in a good position and allows his other backs to get in good positions as well. Who else? Blade Sulzberger was in and out of it. Young Max Roney showed glimpses of his ability, which is great. And Mitch Nicholas was pretty good every now and then as well. For the 3-2-1, Cox-Goodyear had a ripper first half, had 4 goals in the first quarter and ended up with 5 at half time. Just squeezed in for 1 vote today because the second half, I think he was just happy for the others to do it. And when you're that far in front and you're coaching, it's always difficult as a playing coach, but it gave him the opportunity to just sit back a little bit, I think, and watch what's happening. This little fella gets better every game. Their little lucky number 13, Will Manchand. I'm going to give him 2 votes. He popped up everywhere today. He popped up for a goal in the first quarter, but gave another one off. I think it was in about the third quarter or the last. I think it was the third. And a guy who got 69 hit-outs versus 19 today. Just gets better every game. You watch him. Well, I won't say he gets better, but he just doesn't get any worse each game. He's just at the top of his game. You never see him play a bad one. So 3 votes to Alex Lee.
Thanks, Max Walker, for your thoughts today and being a member of our team. And
all the best next week at the state game. Good calling, everyone.
Looking forward to it. Thanks for being with us, Rob. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Big game.